Make madness your ritual!
Meet outsider, existing in my own world where everyone's a stranger. Meet outcast. I know I don't belong, but I can't explain the disconnect. What did I do? What did I miss? Why do I feel alone time and time again? Disregarded, misunderstood, never the target, but always get on. I don't know how I don't belong here, but I don't see eye to eye with the world around me. I feel less than human when I feel like myself. This world was not meant for me. If I was ever made for it. So many red flags can't stop the screaming in my head. I'm paranoid. Can't understand when they say I'm too quiet. So much noise, shut it down. So way out, take me out. I don't know how I don't belong here, but I don't see eye to eye with the world around me. I feel less than human when I feel like myself. This world was not meant for me. If I was ever made for it. Days, weeks, I'll stay in my head, paralyzed by my own brain and wishing I was dead. Days, weeks, I'll stay in my head, paralyzed by my own brain and wishing I was dead. Days, weeks, I'll stay in my head, paralyzed by my own brain and wishing I was fucking dead.
Oh, yeah. It's Friday. You know what's up? Hey, what's going on? It's Friday. Do me a favor. Check out Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 3456 Minnehaha Avenue, Minneapolis. Contact availability, Instagram.com/Lowbrow Saints. And on Saturdays, make sure that you go check them out. They got walk-ins Saturdays 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Endless flash to choose from. Customs welcome, 3456 Minnehaha Avenue in Minneapolis. Check them out, please. Also, if you're looking for some pointy guitars, some fancy lessons for your fast fiddle playing, check out the Shred Den, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., 9100 85th Avenue North, Suite 100, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Give them a call at 763-350-2191, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or www.theshredden.net. If you're looking for some design work, do me a favor, check out Narwhal Design Solutions. Justin Boney, Facebook, Instagram, the World Wide Web at Narwhal Design Solutions. Justin Boney at gmail.com. He's done design work for so many people in town and beer companies and weed companies. And he pretty much he's a jack of all trades over there. But I appreciate him very much because he's done some cool shit for me. And I'm going to be doing some artwork here real soon for stickers and whatnot this week. Oh, look at that. I pushed the wrong button. This week's guest, guys from Shotdown. I'm sorry. How you guys doing today?
We're doing all right.
Hangs it out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, welcome.
We chilling.
Man. Why don't you guys go around the table? Tell me who you are and what you do in the band.
We want to start with you, or do you want to start with me?
I can start.
All right, go ahead.
My name is Miles Norwood, and I play the bass and do a little bit of production work on the side.
Welcome, sir.
My name is Tony DiNapoli, and I play the drums.
Welcome.
I'm Jake Connect, and I play the guitar and do a little bit of singing to help back up this guy.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
I am Andrew Schuler. I am the vocalist and frontman of Shot Down.
Nice. Welcome. How you guys doing? How was your week, man? Well, I mean, we're
Dude,
Friday.
I was stressed out all week.
Yeah?
Because, long story short, my alternator went out on my car on Saturday. I did not get my car back until Wednesday at noon.
Damn.
So I had granted, I got to take 3 days off of work, but I had no car, and that was stressful. Yeah, I got to.
Yeah. Still a pain, you know.
Yeah.
Dealing with car issues. Do you have a good mechanic? Were you able to get to somebody that?
I found a decent local shop, so it was
Good. Well, that's like always a good thing off your mind when shit's fixed and you have a reliable vehicle.
I went to go
again.
pick it up. I was like, oh, such a relief.
Excuse me, what took so long? You're just all pissed off at him. You know what I mean?
Just go off on him.
How about you fellas? How was your week?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good.
I changed my oil this morning, so I did a little bit of car work.
There you go.
There you go.
My daughter just did hers today, so it must be a thing. I got to do mine tomorrow.
Car maintenance.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So we did the alien spit disease on that first one. Tell me about it. If anybody, what's it about?
So the song is actually about my autism diagnosis.
Okay.
I think it was April 20. It was either 2024 or 2025. I got diagnosed with Asperger's.
Uh-huh.
And you were commenting how like alien spit disease. Did I say that right? Like, is that the right title?
Yeah.
There's obviously a trope in metalcore music where like they will make songs. What's the Acronyms. Yeah. Make acronyms out of the titles, and nobody knows what they mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, ASD is already an acronym. So I took inspiration from Villain of the Story, their song Dragon Sickness.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, what can I turn ASD into? And I was like, alien spit. Okay, alien spit disease, that works.
It's like the band Drugs.
There you go.
Destroy, rebuild.
I had to keep checking because I was like, all right, I'm going to mess this up. I know it. And then when I asked when you guys got here, yeah, that's what it was. That's awesome. I wanted to say thank you to the Amnesty Offensive for doing last week's podcast. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. I appreciate it, you guys. Let me see here. I want to get into, I guess, the history of your guys' personal music history. I always love to ask this question. It is like, what was mom and dad listening to? What were your brothers and sisters listening to? Fucking cousins? Anything? Like, what was... I mean, musicians usually draw to music right away, and it's something that you're always tapping on something or you're doing something. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. When I was growing up, my parents were artists and musicians. So
Nice.
my dad was a drummer. I had drums around my whole life. He was more of a jazz musician. So he was listening to bands like Earth, Wind, and Fire, like CCR, Credence.
Yep.
I forget Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, you said that.
I'm trying to think of the other one. There's a few other ones. But yeah, so, and then my mom, like, Tracy Chapman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I just always had musical instruments at my fingertips.
Yeah. What
growing up.
was the first thing that you like picked up yourself that you were
I mean, in fourth grade, I started doing trumpet in band. I was thinking about drums, but trumpet was easier,
Sure.
less loud.
Which
so.
is crazy because you if you had drums at home, you could have just, you just threw down, you know?
Ironically, I was named after Miles Davis.
Oh, nice.
And so the funny thing is I picked up a trumpet, so
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
don't know. If that
How long did you play trumpet for?
Through high school,
Oh, nice.
through marching band, and then I hated marching band. So
Did you guys know that?
I was gonna say,
I didn't
does
know
this
that.
mean that we can have a
Yeah,
mild-
dude. Why would you not,
Swipe
man? You know what I
goodness
mean?
from me.
How,
He's been meaning to get a brass section and
would you be opposed to something like that, Miles? Would that be something you'd be interested in
Are you
doing?
We're putting you
about-
on the spot right now.
I mean, if this was a ska band, I might be into busting out a trombone or something. But
There you go. There you go. We can find a place
No.
for it. I think.
There it is, man.
I'm
we,
good.
we can fulfill Jake's dream of being Bill Murray.
Oh, the saxophone.
How about heavy music? When did you start like picking up on that stuff? Was it did you find it on your own, or was there influences in that?
I mean, probably like ninth grade-ish. Everybody, in high school, like I had my first iPod and my first MP3 player,
Yeah.
and I had like the Wait and Bleed Slipknot
Oh, yeah.
album, and
Nice.
that's probably the start of it. But yeah,
Pretty similar here too. I remember Slipknot being one of the first ones, and that first "As I Lay Dying."
yeah.
EP.
Or
I don't know
Haste.
about you guys.
There's Haste the Day, like the pre-2010 stuff. I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What kind of got me going there?
Some of that 03 to 06, Shai Hulud back in the day. Now
Yep.
I love that Dune's coming back, and
I seen those guys like way back too, man. When they first started, I did security for those guys. They were super fun.
So jealous.
Yeah, super fun. I think it was the Foxfire Lounge too. It was some really tiny spot. I seen
Sure.
Samsara, which was Harley Flanagan from the Cro-Mags play in that little tiny spot too. Earth Crisis as well. Just in a little ass coffee shop.
There you go.
Balls out, people flying everywhere, dude. It was so crazy. How about you, sir?
Yeah, so my parents are both in their 60s and early 70s.
Yeah.
So they grew up listening to older stuff. My dad did oboe and clarinet in high school band. My mom did flute in high school band. My dad likes classical music,
Yeah.
and my mom likes like the Beatles, classic rock like Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
Boston, and she also likes disco.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Sure,
and all
sure,
that
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
I
I love that you're both saying that because I'm a huge Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. My mom turned me onto that when I was a kid, and I literally is on the top of my playlist. And I listen to it regularly.
Yeah.
I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's
Is
just
that
one
disco?
of my no, well, kind of yes. It's more funk.
Yeah.
Funk. It has a lot of jazz elements to it as well. Their bassist is by far one of the best, originators of funk. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
Verdine White is insane. Yeah, sorry I cut you off.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, they grew up doing that, and then I have a younger sister who also plays. Well, she plays viola, so we were a very musical family.
Yeah, nice. That's really cool. How about like your first instruments? What were they horn instruments like right away or?
So I did guitar for a year when I was 10 years old, and
Yeah.
I hated it. And I remember my mom was paying for guitar lessons, and she was like, "No video games until you practice your guitar." And I was like, "I don't wanna." And so after a year, I quit. I auditioned for a middle school band and auditioned for saxophone and trumpet and absolutely blew both of those auditions. But then I auditioned for percussion and I nailed it. So then I did band and percussion all throughout middle school and high school, and I did drumline and marching band and all that.
Wow, that's killer, man. I used to see the drumline cats in the hood back in the day.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
them with the, multiple drums. They're very cool, man. Very cool. I've also seen it in Dallas Fort Worth. I don't know if you've ever seen a high school football game down in Dallas Fort Worth, but it's like a college game. It's absolutely insane.
I'm from San Antonio,
Oh,
Texas.
nice, man.
So yeah, I'm from the South.
So you know that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Oh,
We took band very seriously.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, my cousins were in the dance line and all that.
Yeah.
In the beginning, yeah, I was pretty,
Yeah,
dancing around. Very cool, man.
It's big down there.
So you picked up the drums and that was it.
Yeah, so I did percussion, like starting in 6th grade,
Yeah.
and then in 7th grade, I wanted to join jazz band, and so I started taking drum set lessons
Right.
and started off with jazz, and then moved on to like rock, and then eventually metal.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's very cool. What were some of the like influences in the early metal stuff? Like, what were the bands you were getting into?
Yeah.
heavy wise.
My first one was Metallica, and I remember I was using my mom's iTunes account for I was sharing, and I'd like beg her to let me buy a Metallica album with like my allowance money, and she was like, I don't know if I want you listening to Metallica, and I'm like, please.
So let me ask you, which was the first one that you?
Master Puppets.
Okay.
And all. So I started with that.
Dude, if I could high five you,
Yeah.
I would definitely high five you.
Yeah.
I just had this conversation with a coworker. We started talking about Metallica because it's like it's when you get into a band, it's like the first reference. Like, hey, what kind of music do you play? And you're like, heavy metal, and they're like, oh, like Metallica, or Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
You insert any band there, but Metallica's one of those ones. And if you're in a heavy band, you're like, yeah, kind of like that,
That always annoys the shit out of me when people are just like, when you tell people you do heavy music and they're like, oh, so you like Metallica?
You got it.
Let's say the bands that I listen to were influenced by Metallica. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the conversation that I had, was like the Black Album was the good thing and the bad thing about Metallica, because with like the jocks in school, all the dudes I played football with, they beat up all the long hairs who listened to Metallica. So I hated that shit about them, But I remember when they released the Black Album, they played here with Suicidal Tendencies and Danzig out at Float Right.
Cool.
And I remember walking through the crowd and seeing all these meatheads that I played football with. Hey, dude, and they got their fresh new Metallica shirts on, and I'm just like, it's always one of those things where you're like, these idiots were led into the thing you love the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like that's what music is all about. Metal's all about is like accepting those people when they find it. So it was Metallica Black Album was that one album where I'm like. Either you love it or you're like, damn it,
Yeah.
But I big high five for the for the masters, because I love when I hear younger bands that go backwards or start in the middle of the catalog instead of like, that one Load, yeah. So how about you, sir? What did you?
I want to interject because he has to tell who his drum teacher was, because that's.
Oh yeah. So have you heard of the band Nothing More from San Antonio, Texas?
I have not.
So when I was a junior in high school, I started taking double bass lessons because I'd just been doing single pedal for a while, and so I reached out to a local, music lesson company, and they hooked me up with Johnny Hawkins of Nothing More, and they were just beginning to blow up in San Antonio, Texas, and he was the singer, but apparently he used to write drum parts and then transitioned to being the singer and all.
Doesn't he still do percussion live too?
Or something?
He does like the
he's
auxiliary
the one that wears the
percussion.
black paint on his chest
that
and
guy.
always performs shirtless and is banging a drum and running around,
hanging from the
hurting
ceilings.
himself.
When
Wow,
Tony
there's a
told me
couple
that,
of
I
those.
was like, holy
Yeah.
Says
shit.
that they were actually it's like consist of Johnny frontman Johnny Hawkins, guitarist Mark blah 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 blah. And it says they were nominated for a Grammy in 2003. That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, they were blowing up. This was like in 2012, and so they were beginning to get really famous in San Antonio. And then I took about 6 months of lessons from him to be able to learn like double bass consistency and fills and all that stuff. And then he was a great teacher. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, then they blew up, and so he got too busy. So good job for them for being successful.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it paid off because
Yeah.
we got a unicorn of a drummer. So
Thank you.
Well, pretty much how it is in this city right now. I think the guys from Protolith are still looking for a drummer as well, and I know they just posted something about it being so difficult to find a damn drummer these days, man. Bass players and drummers, man. All you kids out there, I know you want to be the fancy guitar player, or maybe the singer, but I'll tell you what, that percussion and that rhythm section is where it's at. Because
They make us sound
you'll
great.
have 20 bands you could play in any band you want, man. It could be the slowest country shit to like the heaviest. There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Paying gigs,
you
your
have
own
you have your
artistic
pick of the
fluence.
crop.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Who's next? Who wants to go next?
I'll jump in here.
All right.
I guess. So when I was growing up, my mom had books of CDs. This was back when we were back in the CD, and they were the big binders that were 200, 400 CDs wide, and she had big artist collections and studio albums and stuff like that was just awesome. And I latched on to a few of them. Maroon 5, honestly, being one of them early on. That 03 Songs About Jane is
Dude, Songs About Jane, such a good album.
I still have that CD.
Heater after heater after heater. And I know it's weird for a metal band to sit on here talking about Adam Levine and Maroon 5, but that album still to this day is probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Here's, this is the thing too, man. Is I've always been pigeonholed too, because I kind of did it to myself, because I do cater to a lot of metal bands, but I love when people have a variety of music. I'm the same way. I like, my random is so random. You know what I mean? It goes from, the hardest jazz to like, I don't know. I was listening to Ralph Stanley the other day, just out of nowhere. Some of the Brother Wear Out Thou soundtrack. I'm not a huge country guy. I've never been a huge country guy. I like old country. I don't like the newer style poppy stuff. It really bothers me.
Outlaw country,
dude. You know what kills me is, I don't know if you guys got into the Yellowstone series at all.
A little bit. Yeah.
So I love the show. I hate country music. So it's like, oh, this is a great show, and then they. Country music, I'm just like, sorry.
Why is this soundtrack just like nails on a chalkboard?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but there's a few times that Walker's singing, and I might not hate this. I might not hate this. And when he's in the bar and stuff like that. No, that's a good show. I will shout out Taylor Sheridan shows. Those are good. If they're guilty pleasures or not, doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what I compare it to though. Do you remember where he came from? Do you remember what show he came from?
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Now just look at that show and just interchange it, because it's the same plots. It's the same everything, dude.
Mind blown.
I'm able to pull away from it to enjoy it, but I still see it and I'm just like, this is so hokey, dude.
It's the same show. But it's so good. I don't know why I'm so sucked in. You keep going like this.
Sons of Anarchy on horses.
Yeah. Well, and then Lioness is just that with the CIA.
Right.
And all these other shows. What's the other one that he does? Landman, just Billy Bob Thornton and oil.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so I grew up with a plethora of music at my disposal, and she was really supportive, just beyond all of that stuff with music and art and everything. She's an artist in Silversmith here in Minnesota and has been for a long time, and she used to go to like Husker Du shows way back in the day, and I got to hang around with a fella named Mark Ron, who did sound for Soul Asylum, Prince back in the day. My dad actually did sound at Paisley Park as well, so there was some of these like little crossovers where music's always been in my life, and I've always wanted to really do something with it and kind of cross through, a few things with helping out with doing sound with Miles's old band, doing Merchant Sound with a old band that he was in and stuff like that. So I think that the first real like heavy thing that I got into was probably Linkin Park's. I'm gonna blank on it.
Hybrid Theory?
No, it was one of the Live in Texas, because I got the Live in Texas DVD for Christmas from the Cool-Ons. That and a pair of Trip Pants. It was a really weird like dichotomy of Christmas present, where I got the goth, the like crazy like buckle pants and stuff you get from Hot Topic, and the Live in Texas DVD. There you go. So I was like, okay, this is, I get where you're coming from though.
We can make something of this.
Exactly. And then very, very quickly after that, Seosin's Translating the Name EP came out back in I think 03. As well as a couple of other ones. God, like A Life Once Lost. I mean, there was a few just heaters that came out in that 03 to 06, 07 band. And then, like, seeing all my friends in high school, too, when, like, August Burns Red came out.
Yeah.
Everybody getting into them.
That was a great band.
Warped Tour and The Devil Wears Prada, and, like, going with my football buddies.
Yeah.
Back at those last couple of Warped Tours when they were in the parking lot of the Metrodome.
Awesome.
I was there for that.
I was there for those too.
I ripped my toe apart in The Devil Wears Prada. The first one at Canterbury, that was fun. I will say the very first one at Canterbury Park was a lot of fun. It was just such a mess, just a disaster of a tour. Like, you could tell that they had no idea what they were doing with this whole venue like situation, because it was in like swampy area and it was just nasty at that point in time in the year. So I was just man, I got a lot of stuff through his first few years of high school and early time with that as well.
When did you pick up your first instrument, and what instrument was that?
Oh God, I mean, classical guitar. My mom has had. I think have one of the old ones. I just picked her up a new classical nylon string. Well, new to us, but so that she can start playing again. Because I'm trying to get her back into. She's, we're trying to get her back into playing too. Because she's like, oh, you're doing this band stuff, and it's so cool. It's so cool. And she's helping out with doing merch and T-shirts and stuff like that for us. Shout out to her.
Yeah,
Majorly.
big
Shout
time,
out to
man.
Mom.
Major shout out.
Yeah.
She's, big.
That's
ups and
awesome,
downs.
man. I always say this. I have been for since this shit started, man. When you have people to support you, and whether it be your partner, your family, any of that stuff, and if you got kids and you're paying it forward and bringing them to shows, that's. I always thank people for that because it's I'm getting older, dude. This shit. I just want it to continue. You know what I mean? You want to have good bands and people that are inspired by good music and pass that along to other people. So it's
I
very
can't
cool.
remember which member it is, but in Search of Solace, one of their members brings their kid, and she's just on the sidelines, just cheering on. And I'm like, that is so cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. I have a buddy that plays in Glutton for Punishment now, and he brings his grandson to all the shows. As this kid has seen so much cool shit, it's just unbelievable. It was his birthday last week, and I shouted him out on the show last weekend, and the kid is just really, really into music. I'm saying, like, for his birthday, he got Live After Death. He got like an Iron Maiden shirt, and then his grandpa gave him tickets to the Iron Maiden show. So he's like, the whole time he's like, yeah, sorry, kid, it's way too expensive. We can't go. And then he came home and he got, for his birthday, he's holding the the Live After Death, and pretty damn
so
cool, man.
That's so cool.
For a young kid, he's like, he just turned 12 or 13, I think. So it's pretty damn cool, man. That support is amazing, dude. So big ups to all the parents that did support and push that forward. That's great, man. How about you, sir? What were you listening to?
Okay, so I am definitely going to show that I am the baby of the band. So at like the peak of DVDs kind of went through like a kind of a ritual through our house.
Yeah.
Where like we'd get a DVD, the kids would watch that movie on repeat for like 2 days straight. And then they'd get bored of the movie, and then they'd go look through the special features. We had Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed on DVD. Went through the ritual, watched it 2 days straight, and then went through the special features. And there was a music video for a song by Simple Plan called "Don't Want to Think About You." Yeah. I fell in love with that music video. I don't know if it was the aesthetic, the sound, all of it. I fell in love with it. So that started the road on like pop punk. And then, at the time, that was kind of on the radio too. You had like Bowling for Soup and Blink-182, Green Day, all that stuff. So it was a lot of pop punk and radio rock for a good couple of years. And then I got to high school, and my best friend was into a lot of metal. He was into a little more modern metal. He was into like Avenged Sevenfold, Asking Alexandria, Of Mice and Men, Atreyu, and then slowly just devolved from there.
Yeah. It kind of bleeds into it. Now, when you guys were getting into the heavy stuff, were there friends that you were kind of trading stuff with, or were you showing each other things? Were there cats that you were like, oh man, you have to check this out, or vice versa?
Well, okay, music-wise, yes. But that same friend that I just mentioned, that my best friend from high school, I actually sent him one of these wristbands because I have one that he gave me. It was a Black Veiled Brides one, and I still have it like 12 years later.
That's awesome. I have seen this. I can confirm that.
Yes.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah, dude.
But yeah, he and I would trade music quite a bit. I actually, Second in Sebring by Of Mice and Men, I used to hate that song because he would play it over our stereo, and I had the classic reaction of like, oh, he sounds like he's just ripping his throat out, and now I do that. So now I do that exactly.
So let me ask you this now, and I wrote that down too. Like vocal influences. What are some of the people that like? What made you wanna become a vocalist?
What made me want to become a vocalist? I don't know, to be completely honest, because I started out on guitar. It was, I think, third grade maybe. My parents had me take 3 years of piano because that was just everybody they talked to was like, hey, you should get him on piano first. You get him on piano.
Standard.
So the deal was 3 years of piano, then I could take guitar lessons.
Yeah.
Well, then I took my 3 years of piano, and then by the time I had taken my 3 years of piano, I had taught myself enough on guitar that every teacher we talked to was like, yeah, he knows enough. I can't really teach him anything.
Nice.
So I'm self-taught on guitar. Vocals, though, I think it was honestly just like a lot of singing in high school. Just I fronted a pop punk cover band in high school and doing all that singing. And then my best friend from high school also happened to be the drummer of that band. And he wanted to do the Asking Alexandria thing. He wanted to get me to scream. And so I didn't take screaming seriously until probably about like 2019, I think. So, but vocal influences, definitely Austin Carlisle, Danny Warsnop, Dave Escamilla, love his voice. Chester Bennington, obviously. And then Jamie Hales from Polaris is another one. Yeah.
Nice. Where did you when did you start getting your power in your vocals? Like when you noticed you could really push it and not blow it out?
I'm still working on that.
Yes, that's a tough one.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I was a big theater kid in high school, so like projecting and just being explosive with it was never really an issue for me.
Did you just jazz hands? Did he just jazz hands, dude?
I may have just done that.
He just jazzed hands. I'm sorry, man. We're going to have to rewind the tape. If I could get the chat to confirm there was jazz hands in there.
Clip it and put it on
There was.
Instagram. Let's go.
Slow-mo.
There we go, dude. That's what I'm saying.
I think I'm going to get you a yellow challenge flag.
That should
make it
be
a
it,
thing.
right? Just pop it up real quick. Nice. Oh yeah, dude.
Love it.
Well, that's sick, man. Now, how about this project? How did you guys all form as a band? Like, how did that come to be?
Who wants to start?
You started it. I would say you start.
Yeah. Okay. So 2021,
Jazz hands confirmed. Sorry, that has
There you go.
to be
did
told
rewind the
right
tape.
away.
Thank you, Chad.
Jazz hands confirmed.
Thank you, chat. Okay, so 2021, I am the frontman of a band called Red Fletcher. I enjoyed my time in that band, but it wasn't necessarily the type of music that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
They wanted to be something between Nothing More and Avenged Sevenfold. And I'm over here, I'm just like, I want to do Crown the Empire shit. Like, I want to do the metalcore thing. And being the frontman of that band, there's a bit of an identity crisis when you do that kind of thing, where you're the face of the band, but you're not, your heart's not fully in it.
Right.
So
Been there.
I'm looking for my escape from this band, and just being a nice guy, I tried to find my replacement for this band.
That is really nice.
Yeah, I was trying to find my replacement for this band, and then that's how I met Jake. We met up at an El Loro's in Burnsville, and just
Shout
chatted.
out to Laurel.
Yeah, shout out to
Great
Laura.
place.
Yeah, chatted for a good 2-3 hours, and
Yeah, God.
and then we had talked about doing a dual vocalist project for years. Just never really got around to doing that. And then probably end of 2024, I had a handful of songs that I wanted to release, but also kind of wanted to bring a band in to just kind of up the ante on everything. I actually take a lot of inspiration from Derek from Inflict.
Nice.
Except where his is like a studio project that he then brought live, I did want to, focus on being a live project.
Yeah.
So I had these songs. I ran them by Jake. He's like, "Oh, this is really cool. Like, can I get in on this?" Yeah, absolutely. And then Jake eventually brought in Miles.
Wait, wasn't he first?
No, I think you kind of both came in.
You
weirdly
both
at the
kind of
same
came in at the
time.
same time.
Oh, then.
as I was nearly dying in Fargo. It was a whole big fun couple of weeks getting you two in, because I think it was all happening at the same time, where I'm having a conversation with Tony's girlfriend, actually, because Tony didn't have social media until recently.
This is a fun story.
Yeah. So I'm in Fargo job training for a new job that I've actually now since left for fun medical reasons. Gotta love that.
Yay.
Lots of paperwork, lots of
all that
paperwork
goes
and
through.
angry people, and basically nobody was happy. So a little boo. But anyways, getting back on track. I'm having a conversation with Tony's girlfriend, Lindsay. Again, shout out Lindsay.
Yep, big
Wanna
shout out.
support-
Big shout out,
wanna
Lindsay.
Support
man,
people,
yeah.
gotta love it. So
The
she's
glue, the connector, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You gotta
Exactly.
love the connector too.
Glue.
I love that. I love that. Yes. So I'm having the conversation with her. I'm having a conversation with Miles. We're figuring out, what's going on. We had some folks come in, and this is where we'll shout out Ronan and James, the couple of guys that came in the first time that you had any practices for this band live. And I'm on the phone, like on video chat in Fargo. I think probably.
I forgot about that. I
Yeah.
forgot I FaceTimed you
Yep.
during that practice.
Yep. And I was like 12 hours away from being in the hospital, like laying in the tub overnight that night, like trying to just like it. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that was a
Yes, fun times, medical issues, woohoo! But we're having all these conversations, kind of in this weird couple of weeks, and then we finally get everything worked out. Where that didn't end up working out. Again, shout out to those two guys for coming through and hanging out. But we ended up hanging out with Tony, and I had Miles as a contact from years ago when working with another band, and through Scene and keeping in touch, and he helped me out with some other projects as well in the interim between these two projects.
Well, let me stop you right there because I kind of jumped the gun on this too. Now there were other projects that you were involved in too, right, Miles? What were you doing projects wise prior to this?
Well, actually, when I met Jake was a band called Common Choir. I left that band around 2020. Not a lot of shows happening during COVID at that time. Actually, I think one of our last shows in Iowa, that band shut down. We were the last band to ever play at that show in Iowa.
Oh, wow.
And they
The venue as well closed down?
Yeah, the venue shut down.
Wow.
Well, and then didn't you guys do a live stream performance
Yep,
too
yep,
in
and
that
then
weird interim time?
Yeah, during COVID, we did a live stream in Corsair's basement.
That's right.
And then we did one outside at an amphitheater in Northeast, I think.
Shout out COVID times.
Fucking A. I totally missed the fucking whole door on that thing. Like I had my podcast going, but I didn't have a spot, and I was like, when I should have been podcasting, it was the perfect time for people to go, "Hey, I'm not doing shit. Let me watch this idiot." You know what I mean? Like, but
we just sit on YouTube for 12 hours.
Exactly.
And then after that, I wanted to focus on recording music in my basement, and then that's when I know Jake was trying to do some little side projects, and I was recording him, and then I kind of started another band that kind of fell apart, and then that's when I was like, "Hey, you guys looking for a bass player?"
Yeah.
Now, what were you doing at the time? Were you kind of bouncing around as well?
Can I?
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
I kind of wanted to go into Tony's backstory because it's a fun story. So we had another guitarist that we were talking to, Nate. Say Audet?
I
don't know how to
I
say his
don't
last
want to
name.
butcher his last name.
I don't either.
Shout out
Nate.
Nate, though.
Shout out Nate. We were talking to him, the guitarist from Accepting Fate. We were talking to him, and he sent me a Craigslist ad that Tony had posted.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he sent me a Craigslist ad that Tony had posted that he was a drummer looking for a band.
Well, Lindsay posted, right? Or did you post that
I
one?
posted. I at least had Craig's.
You had.
Nobody
I
has
just got to
Craigslist.
clarify which way.
No, and well, between that he had the Craigslist ad, he had a band mix account, and what was the other? Oh, a couple of
YouTube?
covers on
Yeah,
YouTube.
YouTube.
So to this day, I am convinced I commented on one of those YouTube covers, but we looked it up at our last show. The comment is not there, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But and I also responded to the Craigslist ad, but for some reason he never got that email either. So we're bringing in James on drums, and then right as soon as we were just like, all right, cool, you're in. Then Lindsay hits both of us up and is like, hey, my boyfriend wants to play in your guys' band. And we knew that Tony was a good drummer because we had seen the YouTube covers. Like, shit, now what?
So there's another fun dynamic to this one too. And this is another one. Hey, shout out Elevada needs a drummer. Brian, if you guys already have one, then speak for me. Sorry. Jump in the chat. But yeah, Elevada still looking for a drummer. Tony was actually also going to try out for that band. I think you did, didn't you?
I never tried out.
I mean, never
I've
actually
actually
tried
never
out.
met
It
them
was
in person.
conversations, stuff like that. But yeah, there's some connections there as well, because Brian and Matt were in the band that I was working with, Miles, recording vocals. I think there's still a couple of random tracks hiding out there, a Bend cover from Volumes. I don't know if anybody's a fan of that song, but
to answer your question, I wasn't doing anything. I had left my previous band in, I think, April or May of 2025, and I was just chilling, just practicing drums at home and doing some cover songs and all. And then around November, December, I decided, I want to get myself out there and look for another band again. And I did not have any social media at all. So
we brought him to the dark side.
Yeah, I have a Facebook and Instagram now.
Dude, I know so many younger folks, dude, that decided not to, you know what I mean? Like, I have a buddy who's like, when I met him, he was 22 and he had no social media at all. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I start getting these memes from them. Like, what the hell is this? Open it up. I'm like, oh, he made it.
Yeah.
He came over. Oh my God,
The reason being is that Facebook came out when I was like 12 or 13, and there was like so much drama in middle school over like you liked her post.
Yeah.
How could you? And I was like, I don't want to be a part of
Trust
this.
me, it's still there as an adult.
So I never ended up getting it, and I just found all my previous bands through like Bandmix and Craigslist and all. Right. But then since joining this band, I wanted to get like social media presence. So instead, I keep my social media just for drumming content mainly.
Dude, that's cool. That's the way you should do it, man. Honestly, how many people do you know that you're like, ooh, I wouldn't have posted that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Or
for
they get themselves, they jam themselves in a political situation
Yeah.
where they feel like they're doing something. I mean, honestly, a lot of people do. They feel like they should speak up about stuff, but then then they don't take in effect that it's like, everybody and their uncle jumping in like, hey, you should be wearing a green shirt and not a, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
everybody
kinda silly.
sees it, and it's always there, right? You got to think about it. But then how many times have maybe one of us done the same thing where it's, maybe I just shouldn't have said that.
The MySpace days, oh my goodness.
Yep.
I remember taking pictures with my guns, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, my buddy came over, he's like, hey, can I take a picture with one of them? I'm like, yeah, let me take the picture, dude. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. We're all going,
this is a wonderful idea.
Yep. Do you remember this picture when you were, 16?
You're like, oh no, you're on a table like kind of like this, where maybe it doesn't have the black scrim, but it's like, oh God, why are you throwing a picture at me?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just read that MySpace might be coming back.
I see that too.
I just saw a post.
I just seen it this week.
Yeah, this
I
week.
seen it too.
Yeah.
The world needs Tom.
The
The world needs Tom.
We all need him.
Has anybody ever seen that? Like, whatever happened to Tom?
Yeah.
You remember this guy, and he's all like,
What would Jesus do?
He got rich and left.
that's pretty. He's smart. He should be doing. Everybody should have done that shit. You know
He
what I
took
mean?
his check and checked
Yeah.
out.
Let me ask you this one. This one's kind of you guys starting as like a young musician and kind of going around the music scene. Was there a local band that you saw that you were like, this is attainable, this is something that I want to do, or something that you saw them accomplishing or achieving things, and you're like, this is a possibility, this is something I could do?
I'm gonna immediately say After the Burial right here.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
Great
the
to see
local.
That's a
those
huge
guys
band,
from back in the day.
Huge band, yeah.
Watching them go from playing shows with, Nehemiah back in the day. I remember a Nehemiah.
They
After
just
the
played a
Burial
show.
bill.
They just played on the
reunion,
28th or something,
God,
wasn't it?
I was so mad that I missed that, but yes,
I saw
think
it and
remember
couldn't
that.
believe that they were all together. And I asked ones, I'm like, is this a real thing? And they go, yeah, that's a real deal. And I wish I would have went to that show. There's some really good bands on that one.
Oh my God, I miss some of those bands from those days. But yeah, no, I would say After the Burial was the big one for me. Seeing them was like a 14, 15-year-old being like that jump between Rare Form
And they
then
were
the
they
next
were super fucking young when they hit it too. I remember seeing them playing all the time, and I was like, these guys are kids. They were young kids tearing it up. R.I.P. to it was Justin, right?
Justin,
That's who passed away. Yeah,
Yep,
unfortunate
Justin Lowe,
situation.
R.I.P.
Yeah. How about you guys? Any local bands that like stood out that you were?
I am going to say Villain of the Story. I wasn't even living in Minnesota at the time, but when they came out with the Dragon Sickness music video, I was in high school. And then when I moved to Minnesota and found out they were local, I was like, holy shit. The couple of times that I've met Christian, I'm still a little starstruck. I actually accidentally on purpose like modeled my outfit for our first show after him in that music video.
There you go.
So yeah, but definitely villain of the story for
I
me.
dig it. I like that shit when it connects with you, and nobody else will ever know it until you say it. You're like, hey, I did this because of this, and you're like, you look at him and go, oh, I totally get it. That's cool as shit. That's cool, man. That's like a homage to somebody that like
Well, he also low key kind of taught me how to scream because he had like YouTube tutorials back in the day, and so he taught me how to do the false chord stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
very cool, man. I dig that. That's very cool. I like that you were looking. You took the initiative to look for videos and things to get better at it. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people that
I've been
just try to
through
bust through.
way too many tutorials on YouTube. Wait, between production, guitar, vocals, I have watched way too many tutorials.
Yeah. The YouTube University, man.
Fuzzy, shaky videos
YouTube.
where you're like, what the heck is he doing? But that sounds right. Why does it sound right?
Right. How about you guys?
I don't have a particular band in mind, but I know like when I was 18, I picked up an acoustic guitar in college, and there was a pretty decent music scene down there.
Yeah.
So I did some like open mic nights, kind of more the emo acoustic type of stuff.
It's a start, man.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what kicked it off. It wasn't necessarily metal as much, but that's what kind of got me into being
Got
in
you the
band.
bug. Got you the bug for it. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely nothing more. Seeing them like being from the like San Antonio where
Yeah.
I'm from, and then my teacher, being up there, and then being able to like get successful and take off and all was a big one. My second one, I wouldn't necessarily call them local, but they're local to Texas, was Crown the Empire.
Oh, nice.
Whenever I believe they're from Dallas, Texas, and in 2013 I went to like a local festival in San Antonio, Texas, and when they announced they're from Dallas, and seeing them up there with big acts like The Word Alive and Asking Alexandria, that was a cool feeling to see.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, that's very cool, man. I dig it. I dig it a lot. What did you say? You just said something, and I cannot remember what you just said something that just sparked something for me, and I was going to jump in, but I was like, I'll just leave it be, and now I lost it.
Oh,
It's
no.
it's those ADHD moments. where
Was your screaming practice?
it wasn't the screaming practice. It was something else about finding music for some reason. I don't know what it was.
When you moved to Minnesota, was that it?
Maybe.
YouTube University.
YouTube.
No,
Yeah.
that wasn't it. That wasn't it. It'll pop back in. Inspirations. Let me see. Like writing. When it comes to writing, how do you guys come up with your inspirations for writing? Does it come in spurts? Do you have to pull over? Do you have to when you have a great idea? Do you have to write it down, make noises?
So
Voice notes.
our writing our writing process is going to be a little different moving forward because all of our current releases, I pretty much did everything.
Okay.
Wrote everything, tracked everything, mixed, produced everything. Moving forward, it'll be a little bit different, but the way I write is usually I start with a title, a lyric concept, and a vibe. So the vibe is just kind of like, what songs do I want this to sound like? What bands do I want this to sound like? Lyric concept, pretty self-explanatory, and then the title. And then I actually found this out like maybe a couple months ago, but I write a whole lot better if I'm writing in records rather than writing in singles.
Okay.
Kind of the ADHD thing where like I just need to put this somewhere.
Yeah.
And I have like a folder in my notes of just like different songs that I can jump between.
Right.
If I have a thought on this topic, I can jump to this song. If I have a thought on this topic, I can jump to this song.
So you kind of have like your spots.
Yeah.
Tabbed for it.
Yeah,
can just
exactly.
Go, okay, this will probably fit here.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's cool.
And with the current releases, it was kind of like, okay, after that, I programmed some drums as like a drum skeleton for how I wanted each section to feel, and then just kind of built the instrumental from there. Moving forward, it will be write that drum skeleton, hand it off to these guys, and see what they can do with it.
Now let me ask you guys, like, how is that writing process coming into a project, which happens very often? There's usually one person that has a slew of different things that they want to put out, and if they have a collection of things, a lot of times it's sorting through those riffs and getting things. Now, when you come into the project, there's a lot of ideas. They're written down, they're produced, they're done, everything here. How are you guys feeling in the process, in the transition of writing more of this album or writing more of this stuff?
Well, we've dug in a little bit, but it hasn't been a lot of time to do that with some circumstantial stuff that's been going on with, I will say, my health specifically, and getting through some of our other obligations. But it's been fun. It's been a new challenge. It always is a new and interesting challenge when you come into a new kind of framework with a band. Every new band has a new framework, and it kind of, you fit in your spaces.
Yeah.
I think everybody does. You find your ideas, you find your riffs, and like maybe it's him writing it or him writing it or him writing it or me writing it or whoever, whatever the idea comes from.
Sure.
When we get a good final product, that's what matters.
Right.
Where we start from is where we start from. Where we end at is where we end at, though.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is something that we're all very excited to do more of as we have some time here, especially in September. So,
I think from like a production standpoint, since I guess me and him do more production stuff, I think like one of my favorite metalcore bands from back in the day was Memphis Mayfire, the old
Got the beard.
What?
You got the beard too.
You got the beard from
Memphis
Eddie Mullins.
Mayfire.
Matty Mullins. I'm not a redhead though.
Yeah.
But no, I know like that guitar player wrote pretty much all the songs, and so I think when you have one person that writes, and then the other members can kind of like put their take on it, I think it's more cohesive that way.
Sure.
yeah.
Well, and that's why I wanted to bring more people into this project was because I felt like my downfall was I can't write guitar parts that live up to my own expectations.
Sure.
And I knew he was a good guitar player, so I was like, you write it. You help me.
Add to it. Make it sound good.
Make it sound good, my guy.
Well, and I think that we all, not to get philosophical, but we all deal with imposter syndrome a lot of times in our lives in various different ways.
Yeah.
Everybody, whether it's this context or another context, I know that Andrew and I have had a lot of conversations about that over the years, whether it was this project or previous to that relationship where we were doing things kind of on the side with production work, helping him with clients, kind of here, like advising a little bit, if you will. But that's something that, when it's not you and you can kind of like, all right, now you did this, I can kind of critique this and we can bounce this back and forth. It's that symbiosis that when we're all kind of ADHD perfectionists in a way, in our own kind of little sorts of ways in this band, having these 4 different lenses on it really does end up helping long term.
For sure.
So, we can all fine tune each other's work.
Massages it in our own ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this: are you guys, when you are writing, working on a riff, is it in person or is it passed by digitally, or both?
I love Guitar Pro. Honestly, Guitar Pro is one of those things where, you can live and die by the MIDI, and some people hate it, some people love it, but a static, being able to listen to something and watch it, for me, is something that from when I was very young, learning, As I Lay Dying songs or Misery Signals songs back when I was, 13, 14, 15, 16. Power Tab, for people that are old enough to remember that in the guitar player world. Pre-Guitar Pro sorts of stuff where it was like Reaper version of DAWs and stuff like that, for not getting too deep.
Speak
into
English.
It, but yeah.
Most of these people do not
Don't
know.
speak audio, nerd.
No, honestly, just like, so when it comes to that, like, you're speaking Chinese.
I know.
Me and Miles got it. We understood what you were saying.
Of course. But that's the fun part, is that you bounce this stuff between each other digitally, and you have that kind of ability now where we could be on a video chat and do it a little bit. But I think we've mostly done digital and then in the room as well.
So let me get, I'm going to try to break down the Japanese that you were saying. So basically, you're able to put your music in there and tab it all out. So you're able to pass it to somebody to go, hey, this is what I did. Exactly what I did, not, hey, listen to this and try to figure it out. No, it's not there. It's kind of in here. I get what you're saying for the people that don't understand that, because that is for older people like me. That is something that we actually did start to get into, because guitar players when we were playing at this time, now this is 7-8 years ago, that were like, hey, what are you doing there? And they couldn't remember that. You know what I mean? You're fucking old and you play once a week. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit.
He had to help me tab out like 2 or 3 songs, and then I was able to tab the rest out myself.
Right.
But I also, like, I'm very much, I put it into the DAW and then I forget how I played it.
Right.
So
record it and then don't know how to play it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think that's very common. That's very
Absolutely.
common. So that Japanese he was talking about, that's real shit. That does happen. It needs to. You have to know that stuff. I know so many guitar players that do that, man. Where you'll be at practice, you'll record it and be like, "Oh, I forgot how that went." You play it again, and you're going, "Shit, where was I in that?" You know.
This
I
string
totally get that.
attitude?
Exactly.
What's going on
No,
here?
no, one more up.
That's
No,
the-
all right there.
That's the beauty of Guitar Pro, the software, is that it actually has like sheet music.
Yeah.
So like if you wanted to, you could either do tabs or sheet music depending on how you were trained.
See, that's rad. That's
Mm-hmm.
really
So
cool.
it's
It's such a game changer, man, to be able to
invaluable.
do that. I remember exactly what I was thinking now. I was sitting here just scraping my brain, listening to the story. Videos, man. I want to ask you guys about videos. Now, when I was a kid, much like the story that you told about music catching you and then seeing the visual of it, and it really striking, like all of the storyline, they usually pull pieces of the storyline in the video, you know, sometimes, or you'll hear the story. Yeah, man, we made that video because we only had so much money. It doesn't fucking go with the name of the song or how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But videos when I was a kid was gigantic, man. I did a playlist of a lot of local bands recently, and it is something that I find maddening. Why MTV did what they did back in the day. Why would they kill it? Because there's so many cool videos that have come out since then on BET, on VH1, on all these other platforms. YouTube now, that's the only place we see them nowadays, you know what I mean? But it is, I remember having that experience, man. That's what got me. I was like, dude, I know what you're talking about. That experience where you're like, it's different than just on the radio, man, you know, because that's what we had. We recorded shit off the radio, you know?
When you put a visual to a song, it gives a completely different meaning to it. There have been songs that like I listen to. I actually, when a new song comes out, if it has a music video, I make sure to watch the music video, or even do them separately, like listen to the song and then watch the music video. The new "Bring Me the Horizon" song that just Dehumanized. I had a stupid grin on my face during that music video. I was like, "There's got to be something wrong with me because this is a fucked up music video."
Me too.
Have you guys ever seen the Deftones video "Meet the Butcher"? So they're like in this. It's like looks like a library, right? And they're hanging out, and there's blood pouring on them, right? So I seen them in concert at Float Right, and the fucking sky, dude. Okay. So like you could see the clouds, it's dark out, and you could see the clouds rolling in over the top of the thing, and then they start playing that song, and it just starts fucking pouring. Gung. And I look up and I look at my wife, and she goes, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "This is just like the fucking video. This is just like the fucking video." And I just watched it like as it's pouring on us, man. It was insane. Awesome. Such a good night. That was really cool. So I totally get you there. Like all of the nuances of everything that I had visually seen, like, holy shit, live, and it's, oh shit, you know? Yeah, very cool.
It was the YouTube University comment that.
There you go.
Yep, you're probably right. You're probably right. That's probably what it was. I want to, let me see here. I want to go on the other end of that spectrum when it came to, the writing and the inspiration stuff. When it comes to writer's block, have you guys had moments where you're just like, nothing's coming out. And if you have, tell me how you've broken that cycle.
For 20 years. No, like I said, discovering recently that I do tend to write better when it's in records. Yeah. That does help for me. I went through so many notebooks that had like that much on the page actually used up. Yeah. But to actually, like I said, just writing in records where I can basically just pin my thoughts in different spots.
Let me ask you this, because you admitted something that not a lot of vocalists admit. Okay, and I want to ask you in two parts of this question. Now, you admitted like hearing things that you want to guide towards. Okay, a lot of bands steer away from that because they're afraid that they're going to sound like that band, right? But I think that a lot of people steer away from it in the wrong reason. I think that you should be able to take a word, a sound, a melody, a tone, and make it your own. Not necessarily on the same cadence that they're doing, but you can use the push of it, the delivery of it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something about it. Now, when it comes to that, when you're talking to these guys, do you take a song and go, hey, this is the idea that I had, or do you disguise it and just go, I had the idea, I'm going to write it down, I'm going to create something, then give it to them, and then later on go, hey, you know where I got that idea? This is what I got.
No, I don't disguise it.
Okay.
I mean, my approach to it is like the way you mix and match your influences makes you what you are.
Sure.
And like I've come to these guys and straight up said like, I want this to sound like a Boundaries song. I want this to sound like a Motionless in White song. I basically took this breakdown from this song, you know, I'm not
Make
ashamed.
it not that.
And
this
that
is
was
the idea. Make it not that.
That was another thing was like,
you couldn't recreate these people's songs if you tried a million times.
But
that's the thing.
that's the thing is that I think people look at that in a biting way, like you're taking
Absolutely
those
they do.
ideas, and it necessarily isn't that at all. Because if you're smart enough and you know the person well enough, that's kind of what this podcast is about. Because when you sit down, you want to find out where people pull their inspiration from. Where do you hear it? Because I'll tell you what, before you said anything about Linkin Park, I heard it in the music, in the first tune. But that's the thing. It separates between each of the three songs that you gave me. There's different influences that I heard where I couldn't go, I could put my finger on that exact thing. There were little bits as you told me the story.
I found it very interesting when I was playing with Red Fletcher. Shout out Brandon from Chipuque. He was talking to me after our set. We played a show with his old band Birdhole. He's talking to me after the set, and he's telling me like, oh yeah, this reminds me of like Bullet for My Valentine and Atreyu. And like at the time, I hadn't listened to either of those bands like at all. I thought it was very interesting that like he's pulling influences that I haven't even listened to, but it still worked.
Now, do you guys do the same thing with your playing when it comes to that? Do you revert to the things that you know? Do you I mean, are there licks that you think to yourself like, oh, I could do something kind of like that, would fit in here really well? Like, I know there's musicians that do it, but they're really kind of afraid. It's like saying you stole something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't really want people to think that that's what you're. Like. There's no way you can avoid that. There's no fucking way. You didn't start music. You learned music. You heard it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
how you digest it and regurgitate it back out there. You know what I'm saying?
If you're not inspired by your peers, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
That's the biggest thing that I can say to that is if you're not inspired by your peers and inspiring your peers, hopefully, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. But I'll defer to the rest of the guys.
Well, I was gonna say I'm just a bass player, so I just I just play whatever he's playing and whatever he's playing, and then
We actually determined
in
this
and
last
gel.
practice. He follows his notes and his rhythm. Like
yeah. So I'm the glue that
Yeah.
holds the two sections together. So I don't really have. I mean, there's tones that I can go after, or like instruments that I like. Other bands like what's that band called? Thrice. Like I know like Thrice. I like their bass player, so like I'll maybe copy some of his stuff, but maybe not lick wise.
Sure. More gear wise.
Yeah, more gear stuff.
or tonal.
Yeah,
tonal.
tonal
A lot of people
gear.
do tonal stuff. I mean, that's a huge thing. I mean, I listened to a band called Gatecreeper just the other day. Popped in on a tune, and I heard fucking Entombed. I heard all these old death metal bands. I'm like, oh, you guys stole all of that, and it sounds so good because it's your own shit. You know what I mean? It's like the dirty Entombed tone with the fucking the carcass kind of and a little bit of bolt thrower in there. You know what I mean? All that just the dirty old 80s, 90s death metal shit. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, as a drummer, I get most of my, grooves and fills from songs I like to play,
Yeah.
and I'll usually translate it to whatever goes with the skeleton that he provides me with, and all. There's only so many rhythms that exist in the world,
Right.
so it's hard to not reuse them and all.
Yeah.
But whenever I was first taking double bass lessons, I would say I wanted to do this fill that's from this song, and then do that, between like the hands and feet splits
Sure.
and all.
Yeah.
So usually I'll take that and I'll hear like a song that has a unique groove or unique fill, and then I'll supply it to whatever he's looking for.
The band that was just on last week, the Anemone Offensive, I was sitting there watching them at Club Underground, and they have this groove, and I kept saying to him, I go, dude, what is that? It's like a salsa groove, and they all looked at me like, what? Because I heard it, do, and they both the bass player and the guitar player, they just went, that song, the last one we're playing. And I go, really? So we played it, and it sounded completely different on the album, but it still had that little fucking salsa flavor to it, man. So I could,
I mean, even whenever I practice and I say, like, what song is this? And just play the drums, they can almost never guess it because you can apply that groove or rhythm to multiple songs. Right. Yeah. Not just, I'm hearing it in my head, but then they could be like, oh, is it this one or this one or this one?
Yeah.
Unless it's like a really, really unique rhythm, like one that comes to mind.
But every once in a while, I'll jump in with the vocal line and they'll be like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's that one.
He actually does that quite a bit as he plays cover songs and he makes us guess what he's playing.
Yeah. In between songs, that's how.
I think I fail all of them.
Yeah. Like, we're not batting very high on that.
Yeah, the only unique one I think about is the drum groove for "Injustice for All" by Metallica with the descending toms and all. Like that one is like almost like this is "Injustice for All" or the intro.
Is that
that part?
Okay.
And also,
it is that.
And the other one I think about is the intro for "Down with the Sickness."
Okay.
You know, like you play that, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I know what you're playing," and all.
I want to shoot myself in the face when I hear that.
Yeah.
I hate that dude so much, man. He's such a douchebag. He literally, I met him a couple times, and he is a total douchebag. Like shitty to his fans, douchebag. You know what I mean? Like I looked over. I'm standing next to Amy Lee. You know what I mean? The nicest, sweetest sweetheart ever. And I look over and I see Jonathan Davis and then fucking dude from Disturbed, and I'm like, ugh, yuck. He just has an ego about him, man. That is so. He looks like he'd sign some bombs.
Don't you have to do that piercing that he had for a long time? I mean, like
God,
you have to have seriously stone cojones for that one.
Well, yeah, and stealing your name. That's pretty much how he did it. Was they stole the name from a band from Minneapolis. That's what they did. That's how they got Disturbed.
Okay.
Deep cut.
Earl Root was that was his band, and he started the Root of All Evil. So that's lore for you right there.
I was gonna say music history right there, boys.
They got the cease and desist right before they got signed. They actually got the cease and desist, and they were about to sign, and they were like, they cut their deal. At least that's what I was told.
Well, to be a fly on the wall in some of these rooms.
Right. Yeah. Now let me ask you, as the lyric writer, writing personal experiences or fiction, is that?
Definitely personal experiences. Nice. There might be one or two songs on the new stuff that we're working on that might be a little fiction, but for the most part, it is personal stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's the way I actually want to do. You know what? We'll play a tune. We've got one more. We got two more tunes. We've got "Bad Guy" is next. Tell me about that one.
Yeah. So that one is, I'd say, like basically just standing up to people who misjudge you. First line is, "What the fuck do you take me for?" People have perceptions of you, and they're not always right. And this is just basically my way of saying, like, I'm not what you...
I'm definitely not stretching this shirt out for any particular reason right now. Hopefully the camera catches it.
It's awesome.
That's Justin
everything
Bieber.
Kill. Yes, it looks like it. Is that Justin Bieber?
It was Bieber. So awesome, as you're saying this, not being misjudged, I mean, there's some things to be kind of especially,
I think you wore that for a reason, didn't you?
Maybe.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No.
So that's what the bad guy's about, huh?
Yep. The final line kind of sums it up. I am not the bad guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've always been made to be the bad guy.
Exactly.
I don't know how that goes, dude. Well, let's take a listen to this tune. Folks, stick around and we'll be right back.
Just wake up and shut up and listen to me. You see what you wanna see. A stuck-up selfish prick. Understand when you look at me. I'm just a scared son of God with nowhere to run. Nowhere to run. What did I do to make you believe that I am the enemy? How do I prove I'm not the monster that you made me out to be? This is how I fix myself. I've got this haunting, sinking feeling that I'll never be enough for you. I'm not the bad guy!
Hey, look at that. We come back. Look at that. Look at your fucked up cameras, too. Look at me go. I'm professional as all get out. Welcome back, folks. I hope you enjoyed the tune. That was heavy as shit. I dig it. Very cool. What was you said the inspiration was just, what, just not being the bad guy, or like
Not being the bad
portrayed
guy.
as the bad guy? Or,
Yeah, being misperceived as the bad guy, being misjudged.
Yeah.
And yeah, just I'm not the bad guy.
Dude, that's something that I can relate with. I honestly feel like my whole life's work. A good friend of mine's mom pulled me aside when his dad passed away and said, "I always knew when my son hung out with this guy that he was always safe, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Which was a huge thing for me, right?
Yeah.
My friends felt safe around me, right? But his mom was like, "I knew that he was safe when he was hanging out with you," and she put me out in front of her whole family and was at this funeral and was like, "This is one of the guys that taught me how to never judge a book by its cover, was this guy right here." Like, because I look rough as shit, you know, talked a lot of shit, loud, obnoxious kid, and I love to fight, you know what I mean? So, but she was always like, you were always very nice, very kind to the people around you, and that made me feel good. So the bad guy shit, man, I feel you. Sometimes it sucks when you're trying to help people and you get made out to be the bad guy too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I relate on so many different levels. I think that's what music's about, right? You're trying to relate to people, and I think that's how people connect with your music and the message.
Yeah.
And you know, you gain more followers, you know, instantly when they're like, "Oh, really? What's that song about?" And you tell them. You know, that heartfelt stuff. That's why I always felt it very difficult to write about anything other than personal experiences or even tapping into your friends' personal experiences by seeing how they've been affected by something. You know what I mean? That's a deep thing. I know you kind of wanted to talk about influences again and like inspirations in the music scene and around you. Were there more things that you wanted to touch on in that?
No, just I wanted to touch on a little bit of my own personal experience and kind of shout out a couple of people through the years. I got the experience to see a lot of guys go through and do things at different stages. I had a buddy that I played music with and played my first show ever with down at the Enigma in Shakopee, if anybody remembers that one.
That's awesome.
Love that place. Shout out the Enigma.
Was that a cafe?
It was a youth center,
Oh,
actually.
nice.
And I think it might still be around. I
That's
don't know
awesome.
that it's still operating in the same function, but
Yeah.
it might still be around. You know, Google. Yay. I haven't Googled it in a while. But no, the guys from the Silent Surrender and, you know, eventually went on to be in Get Young and X Regime. They've been in a few local bands, but I got to watch their journeys as like the little brother, I guess, which was really fun. And getting to see that process of, you know, going to these different battle of the bands at Club 3 Degrees, and you lose because one guy's dressed weirdly out of the look of the band or something silly like that, and you have to process through that as like the younger brother hearing your older brother's friends fight about it upstairs, which was always kind of a fun fly on the wall thing. But that, kind of seeing that introspective band life thing made me think, oh, hey, maybe this wouldn't be something I hate, doing as a living. The Burden of a Day guys back in the day used to stay at my behind the street neighbor's house when they were coming through tour, and seeing some of that stuff where, you'd stay at your random friends' houses, or, maybe you're the younger brother of this person, you get to do sound for, I got to do sound for Four Letter Lie once or twice in my life. And just having those experiences because you were attached to somebody in your support system is another thing that plays into that thing we were talking about earlier. Your support system really ends up shaping you as a person. So, shout out those people through the years. Shout out those guys, Josh, Jacob, Bellamy.
That kind of segue is pretty good for another question I was going to ask, actually. When it comes to networking, and you guys have had some other projects and worked with other bands and played with other people, how is your networking? I mean, do you guys make it a point to be out there after the shows talking to people?
That guy.
Or there's always one main guy that ends up having to do that stuff, which is, it's crazy to me because there's always one guy that handles all the fucking business, man. You know?
Well,
I mean, we all three of us really do. So the show we've got coming up, Terentia, their guitar player was actually in Red Fletcher with me, so that's how I know them.
Which one you got coming up? Which one?
July 30th.
All right, let me put that up since you're segueing right into that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. We got Underground Music Cafe. Let me see here. That is July 30th. That's next week. 18 plus. Doors are at 6:30 p.m. Show is at 7 p.m. Tickets pre-sale $10. At the door is $15. The MK2 Ultra Records Showcase, local artist showcase. Fragged Out guys, those dudes are fucking awesome. Very cool dudes. Great music. You guys in Shotdown and Terentia. I actually reached out to those guys. I've been seeing their name around quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Do you know those guys pretty well?
Yeah, I know Saul. Their guitarist.
Nice. Very cool.
Solid dude. Solid dude.
And then Bestowed Upon Us.
Bestowed Upon Us is another one. So their guitarist was in another project called Alkali Lake, and I did production for that band as well. So
Nice.
so also know that band, and then Fragged Out is a Jake connection.
Yep. Actually, MK Ultra or MK2 Ultra Records is something that I'm involved with. Myself and my buddy Drew are running that record label. It's just really a distribution outfit right now. So if anybody's looking for distribution, don't feel hesitant to reach out to us. We got an Instagram profile out there. Come down to the show, chat with. I'll be out there, obviously. Drew will be out there for a little bit of time, but I don't know if he'll be able to be out there for the whole show. But definitely come and say hey if anybody's interested, or just come and shout out. But yeah, the Frag guys have been friends for a long time. It's actually this whole show is kind of a networking extravaganza.
Nice.
With Fragged Out, and then obviously the label connection with myself and Drew, and helping put this one on. And then kind of hilariously again to the support system, Fragged Out, one of their members, Keith, shout out Keith. He and his girlfriend Shelby's one of my old friends from high school, so I'm glad to see some of those folks out there at the show. It'd be a
cool.
great time. Come out and say hey.
Yeah, shout out to Eric, and much love to him and his family. I think there's some kid stuff going on. I hope everything's okay, buddy. Hope kid heals up well and all that other good stuff. Nothing but love out there. The guys from Fragged Out are super cool dudes. Had them on not that long ago. Very cool music. I like those dudes.
We love the Frag guys.
Good stuff, man. You gotta love the support too, man. That the networking thing is giant. It's really, really huge. I think people don't do it enough. You know what I mean?
Just chat,
like,
right?
how could you not want to play shows with other people? Like, when you guys came in, I was like, dude, you guys should do a show with these other two bands. You're like, hey, I think I know those guys. Yeah. Like, I mean, I think it would be, you're playing with one of them on the 15th.
So we did talk about that.
That's pretty awesome. I can pull that one up too. Since we're hitting the shows anyway, we'll throw that one up there too.
Yes,
sir.
On the 15th of August, you guys are also doing a show. That's a Saturday at Memory Lanes. I can't believe they're still doing shit over there. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
They're doing it right on the lanes like
Come
they used
blow
to.
the doors off with us.
Dude, it's awesome. It got Shot Down. You've got Sensing Agony, Wakefield. Those guys are awesome. awesome. I did photographed them on one of their first shows together, bestowed upon us at a Common Choir show, actually, on in St. Paul right at the end of COVID.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. If
In a basement party. And then Sledge at that one, I've been talking those guys up quite a bit too. Very cool band, and that was the band I suggested. You guys should play a show.
Yep, another one of
awesome.
our label guys.
I think that you guys would meld really well together. I dig those dudes.
Heck yeah, Dusty's actually a longtime friend of mine. I think Dusty and I have been friends for, I don't want to date myself, but since I was in high school, and he was just a little past high school. Yeah. So, we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Who did the anime guy?
So shout out my coworker Ryan Blue. I had this idea for whatever reason that I wanted a poster of our band in an anime form, and the fact that we were playing a bowling alley. I took the inspiration from the Chainsaw Man opening where they have the 4 main characters in a bowling alley.
Nice.
And so I bring this to my coworker and I'm like, dude, can you draw us as anime characters? And like I mentioned it to him in passing, and then the next like 3 days at work, he's handing me little Post-it notes of like our faces as anime characters, giving me like mock-ups.
Dude.
I'm like, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's cool when you got people like that too that are like, hey, I can do something cool.
Oh yeah, I showed Tony his, and he's just like, I was not prepared to see myself as an anime character.
Weird seeing yourself that way.
Right.
Yeah, I totally thought that was from the Big Lebowski.
I think it was actually inspired by that. I think the Chainsaw Man
inspired
one.
By inspired by.
Inspired
is
by
this inspiration Inception?
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
No, I just want to take a second actually to shout out my buddy in Rube Katana, who did our current flyer for the July 30th show as well. While we're shouting folks out that did artwork. Gotta love that Bakugo artwork that he did for us there. So same type of thing. Gotta network and support our peeps.
Hell yeah, there we go. Put that 30th one up there again. Don't forget that's Underground Music Cafe on the 30th of July. This next weekend, 18 plus. Again, doors are at 6:30. Check all that shit out. Go support these fellas and everybody on the bill. Make sure you buy all their merchandise too. That's very important. If you like the band, please support them so they can continue to produce beautiful music for your ear holes. If you can dig that. had to stress that one a little bit. Thank you. Throw this one up this Saturday, August 15th. Again, that's a $5 cover. That's a cheap one, man. Get down there. That's a lot of good bands for $5, 21 plus after 10. And the doors are at 7 p.m. So you'll be able to see a couple bands before you get kicked out if you're a youngster.
Yeah.
So get down there, support them. Dude, that is kind of a trip to see you as an anime character.
I will say
it's perfect because we all you can tell who's who.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Oh, by the way, guys, I want to go bowling at memory lanes and have us all dress up in dress shirts.
Yeah.
Just because our flyer is going to be on those TVs, so I want to see if anybody notices.
That'd be pretty rad.
I did want to say that now that I'm an anime character, I went out and bought my first anime 4K disc.
Oh, what'd you get?
Akira.
Classic.
You didn't get a body pillow?
Didn't feel like going that route.
No waifu body pillow for Miles. No, he doesn't need one. He doesn't need one.
Awesome,
he's got a baby at home.
That's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat going back and forth in here. They're kind of replying to us while we're talking, and sometimes it gets caught. Like Eric, that's great to hear that he's out of ICU, man. That's fantastic, dude. Eric also said, and I hope you're lying about this, might be Dusty's last show with them, unfortunately. That would really suck. I hope you're not just dropping that on my show right now. What a horrible thing, man. But I hope it's not, because that's a great project for Dusty, and I think they started that thing together, so that would kind of suck, man, But places you've played in town, or that you like, venues you like to play in town. Anyone?
I mean, I've got my opinions.
Go ahead. I mean, what do you got? What do you like?
Personally, I think Amsterdam's one of my favorites, just because the sound system is killer, and the bass, you can just feel the bass.
Dude, it's just cool that they're actually being open to local bands again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like after the whole Medis thing, like they stopped doing all of that shit for a while. It was like they pulled away from, which is really crazy because they had the ability to shrink the room up. You know what I mean? Like if you're not drawing, just fucking draw the curtain. What does it matter? You know what I mean? But I suppose they have to employ people to keep, you know what I mean, to keep the bars open or whatever. That kind of sucks. But Amsterdam is awesome. I agree with you 100%.
And to piggyback off of that bass comment, like I was not prepared for our backtracks to go through that system. The first show, just whoa, okay, there are my backtracks. Okay,
the bass drop.
Yeah,
just filled the room.
Because we opened the set with Bad Guy, and there's that like big impact sound, and just like boom, okay, all right, we're ready to go.
Feel the floor shaking.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It is a fun feeling the first time you feel it.
Especially with the new band. Quest used to be a fantastic room for that too. The floor would just shake, dude. It was amazing. And all the subs underneath the stage, it was fucking great.
Triple Rock being that small room.
Yeah.
God. I remember seeing my first metal show, actually, God, again, going to date myself, the Acacia Strain. I think this was when they released the Dead Walk, but them and Job for a Cowboy and Psyopus, I want to say. Like, such a heater of you'd never get those three bands in that tiny room.
Yeah.
I just remember people killing each other.
I seen High on Fire in that fucking little room. That was amazing.
Wait, are we talking about venues that currently exist today?
Just whatever ones you like there. We went on a tangent. Yeah, Station 4 was fun. Station 4 was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good place to see some shit.
R.I.P. We did do a little bit of an in memoriam sort of segment there for a second. Right. But no, I mean, again, Amsterdam's fantastic. I'm excited to play Underground. I've heard great things. I've not actually personally been in the room yet.
Me neither.
So,
which is
really I'm excited for that one to play that next week. I want to get in there probably either this weekend or sometime next week to just at least get in the room.
Just kind of get the feel of it.
Right, yeah.
I did do a drive-by.
Did you guys hear?
Didn't you check?
Did you guys hear about the Pillars Forum having that issue the last week? I know at the end of this podcast on Friday with the Enmity Offensive, they were saying that the dude had just dropped that he had hit his goal for GoFundMe, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
You know, you see the guy struggle, and you could see it in his face, just defeated as shit, and people calling the city and trying to stand up for him and doing all the right things.
Well, I mean, it's great that the community just came in and like
showed
out. It was like, wasn't it like just like it was like 24 hours, and then okay, we're back.
Well, same with the what's the place when the bus went through it at you know what I'm talking about? The Acadia.
The Acadia. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The bus
seeing the
at downtown. The bus went.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, if you Google it, bus went right through there, destroyed everything.
Damn.
They had to like redo it in the community.
It
was like 2023 maybe.
No, okay, it's a few years ago now.
Yeah. Okay.
God, I think it was 3 years ago now.
That's crazy, dude.
Time flies.
Now, are there stages in town that are there any stages you're like, I really, really want to play that stage?
I mean, First Ave, duh.
So I'm humble brag here, but I actually did get to play the main room at First Ave. Yeah. I was very fortunate that I was playing bass with Chipuke at the time.
Nice.
And they played a wrestling event there, and that was a ton of fun. But as far as venues that I want to play, I have my eye set on Green Room. Watched Villain of the Story and Divide the Fall there.
Where's that at?
Uptown, I think.
It's right across from like the Lagoon Theater.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, saw Divide the Fall and Villain of the Story there back in March 2024, 25, I think it was.
So they've been open a little while, huh?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that place.
I've never been there, but I've seen
New
it.
Band Tuesdays. That's the big thing that we were trying to think about getting onto.
Well, we were thinking about getting on it.
Yeah. I mean, Tuesdays are tough.
It was just a Tuesday night, and we're like,
it blows me away, man, how it's changed through the years. Because there were like, certain spots that would do the Thirsty Thursdays where you'd have bands on Thursday night, and then there'd be, some people that would do 2-for-1s on Tuesdays, and they'd be at bands on Tuesdays, and then there were the Metal Mondays at it wasn't the Schooner. It was something different, but it was over.
It was the bowling. I thought it was the bowling alley, wasn't it? Memory Lane's Metal
Mondays. They did some stuff. I know the Music Cafe in St. Paul also did like a Monday or a Wednesday for a couple years. And now you see. Now I know that somebody was talking about doing something on Thursdays at the Joint and Caboose, and as it gets colder, they're going to try to move it into the Caboose on Thursday nights, which would be a really cool thing to catch up with. And then you have that Monday nights at the Schooner, and then there's another Monday night that Joe from Amarak, he's a guitar teacher at Capital Guitar, I believe, as well. Joe Anderson. I think that he does another Monday night as well. And I think there's some things up in St. Cloud that Tempest from Harsh Reality and All the Pretty Horses, I think she does a lot of booking there as well.
Yeah. Is that the
red carpet in the Keller,
Keller bar?
Yep. That's definitely a spot you guys should check out. It's another one to add to your repertoire, because getting out of town, especially, here's a question for you. Now that you guys have had different projects and other things that you've done, what is playing too much and playing the right amount for you guys? Is it once a month, twice a month, more than?
I've got my opinions.
Yeah. Well, currently we're looking at once a month. I'm the youngest in the band, so I'm over here. I'm just like, I want to play every possible possibility that we possibly can.
Right.
And these guys are all like, no, it's too.
I'm the oldest in the band, and I have a young child at home, so it's a little harder for me.
Right.
I was thinking, like, if we did 4 a year, that would be like borderline, like maybe a little bit
but
more.
we're compromising with once a month, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Now, okay. Let's say area-wise. Now, once a month. Are you saying in town, out of town, weekends, out of town? Are you trying to go on little runs? Are you doing anything?
Currently, we're only working within the cities. Early next year, we're going to start looking at some small Midwest runs.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
We got a couple of ideas in the pipeline.
We got
I don't want
ideas.
to say too much, but
I've got a little loop figured out.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
not too far out of
Now,
town.
see, that's the way to do it, man. There's a lot of people that don't think about that. They just want to stay in town and play, once a month here and there and everywhere. But, you got places in Duluth now that are doing things. You got places that, what's that Pavlenko guy that's...
Bob.
Yeah, he's
Bob
doing,
down in Mankato.
He's doing Mankato and
shout out
St.
Bob.
Peter. And then you've got guys, I mean, there's people in La Crosse that are doing things. There's people in River Falls that are doing things. There's the Menominee guys from Zymergy.
Yep. So in one of my previous bands, 2 of my guitar players were from Wisconsin. So we used to go to like Eau Claire, La Crosse. There was the Warehouse at the time. So I'm pretty familiar with the whole Wisconsin side of things.
Yeah.
So I've kind of got it all mapped out. But yeah, you mentioned like a brewery that I was looking into that does metal and stuff. But so
got some secret plans.
I've got ideas.
Maybe.
Well, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I love to hear that you guys have plans. That's a huge thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to branch out. I think a lot of people are just kind of, myself included, after a little while. I think I was happy just playing in town and getting on stage just to keep doing it. But it's like, if you're going to be serious about it and you want a little bit of extra oomph, you get out there and push it, because you never know. Getting yourself out there, you could get a call from Bobby or one of those promoters. They're like, hey, we need a band that draws and does well. I mean, so what do you guys think about the dynamics of things now when it comes to building bills? Where the matinee spots, the middle spots, the second and third, the third and fourth are the headliner spots compared to who the hell are we going to have close this show?
Yeah, and I guess it really depends on your bill, doesn't it?
It really does.
What are you looking to build? Are you looking to have the folks stick out for a band like Fragged Out, where they put on one of the best shows in town? If you've never seen a Fragged Out show, come out and see Eric put on a show. Erics and Sam and Keith. But I love, Fontaine puts on a fantastic show. He's a very, very, very energetic. They all are. So that was kind of, I guess, the idea of the construction of our bill for this one, the 30th, is, we don't want people to get too far away from, sticking around for, a headliner, if you will, But I think that maybe, speaking to that, there was some production value in the past where you were doing big things with that headliner,
Sure.
Maybe pyrotechnics if you're talking really, back in the days of, hair bands and stuff like that, but, maybe not at local clubs. You look at the construction of what you're looking for and how you put together, where you're putting people and who's gonna bring their fans out when, the younger kids are gonna be.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So when you're building a bill, what are you looking for at the end? What are you looking for in the middle? What are you looking for in the beginning?
At some level, you got to look at who's going to be out there at the end, right? You know, some of those younger bands and those bands that draw younger fans are going to be out later. They're going to be doing stuff later. They're going to have more energy than Miles or I by about 9 o'clock or, you know, we're hitting that, you know, coffee wall. Let's get another cup of coffee. And they're like, woohoo, we're just getting out. But, you know, like I said, kind of with Fragged Out, they're to me one of my favorite bands to see close a show because they just put on such a fantastic, you know, you can tell that Eric just put on a show and that they put on a show. So that's really the big thing, I guess, that I look at when we're looking at putting together bills for ourselves. So I don't know, Andrew, you got some input there too?
I was just gonna say I really enjoy putting together bills. I know for our headliner, I just wanted bands that sounded similar but like had a similar energy to us. It's almost like a vibe match. Like putting together bills really is just vibe match.
Or like one time you said like we're the heaviest band of the bill versus we're the lightest band of the bill. So you kind of got to have this dynamic of who.
Do you put yourself in those situations on an equal balance? You know what I'm saying? Do you enjoy being the lighter band on the bill? Are you not afraid of it? Because there are a lot of bands that will shy away from it because they're not. In my thought process, if you were the odd man out, you have the best chances because you're breaking up the monotony. You got a death metal band here and you got a hardcore band here. You got something that plays on both sides where it's, you know, and then you can and then and really get the whole vibe of it. You feed on all of those emotions. I think it's really important, you know.
I will say,
absolutely.
I've always enjoyed being in bands where that you've got the hardcore side and like the breakdowns, but yet you have like the melodic choruses. That just kind of breaks that up. So I enjoy that.
I think a lot of people fall short on the younger bands, and ego plays a lot into it. Like this, you say, okay. Let me paint a scenario for you. You go to a younger show to check out a younger band, and you see that their fans follow them religiously. So when they're done playing and they have 2 more bands to play after them, you see their followers just kind of dissipate with them as they're done. A lot of people, when it comes to egos, they'll go, well, I've been around longer. I've done this. I've played more stages, and so I should get billing higher up. But again, you look at that bill and the way you see the vibe, the way you see the room, you should never be afraid of those young guys having a further spot. And this is why. Their fans are going to stick around because they're going to want to see those people at the end, and they're going to think you're going to trick their fans. What you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, these younger cats have these guys that are going to stick around until they're done. If you play them early, they leave early, right? You play them late, you let them stoke the fucking flames, and you give that band that much more courage to go, hey, they put us last. They put us further on in the bill, not really thinking that, hey, your fans are staying around for us to check us out. You know what I mean? It's a trick. It's a game to play.
And coincidentally, like the venue's going to notice. The venue will absolutely notice that.
Yep. You will, and the person setting up the person talking to the venue, if you do it properly, they're going to notice and they're going to say, hey, you can come back anytime you want. Let us know when you want another date. It's just great thinking on your part. Never take the ego out, you know, never bring it into that thing, because here's what I've tried to tell people from the very beginning. When you start in a band, and if you've ever been in a band, this is how it works. You get a gig and you open the gig and you play that opening slot. Work that opening slot. Beat the living shit out of that opening slot. And here's the thing. Let me tell you what. The opening band sets the tone for everybody else. So if you want a good show, you start that show and you beat the living shit out of anybody behind you and beyond. You set the bar. You see the guy go up over the fucking thing, right? Up over the fucking thing. You either want to get directly on that thing or way above what that dude's doing. When I was in the room and I was waiting for and here's the thing is, back in the day, if you drew people, like I'm talking about being a young band and you drew people, you would move up fast. Whoop, you would be up here. Now you're headlining. Now you got to hold those people the whole fucking night. That's a hard thing to do. And we held records for that. And I fucking dote on this because here's the thing, man. It's changed 100%. Everybody wants to get out of the club by midnight. Everybody wants to be to the other side of town to have a drink. So these early matinee shows should be where it's at. You should be done by 11 o'clock. Nobody wants to be out beyond that. I don't give a shit how old you are. Because here's the thing. Not a lot of people drinking now. But if you're out having a fucking weed drink, you get tired. You're not going to want to stand around and stay in the club all night, dude. You're going to want to get home and eat your munchies and go to bed, dude. It's just the way it is.
Snuggle the animals.
Well, exactly. Pet your cats. Do what you got to do. But I think that ego plays a lot of tricks with bands. You know, you start to breathe your own smoke, and your friends. Yeah, man, great set. You get that in your head. You're like, yeah, we fucking rule, dude. Everybody, you show up. I mean, I played in front of 12,000 people, and the following show afterwards is 50 people in a fucking shitty bar in St. Paul. You come crashing down to earth, and you're just like, damn.
Humbling.
Yeah, it's very humbling, and it's where we all have to maintain, man, to just do this job properly, man. When booking a show and booking bands. Now, let me ask you this: when it comes to payment, is that something that you guys like to talk about right off the top? Is it a straight across the boards thing? Is it levels when it comes to payment?
We prefer payment by experience and
well, quite frankly, like our first show, we had no idea we were even gonna get paid. Like we just showed up. We were like, all right, cool, we'll play the show. and then the headliner hits us up and there's like $100 in my Venmo. I'm like, sweet.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. Now, when you experience something like that, do you start thinking, hey, we're worth at least this to leave our studio?
No.
No, you should. You should.
I'm not gonna lie. It crept into my mind.
Hold on. Let me stop you there. If you ain't making at least $100, this is me 8 years ago. I wouldn't leave the studio for less than $100, and that ain't for my pocket. That ain't for my gas tank. That's for the record, the studio rent, for everything beyond that. So I'll be honest with you. For you to walk into any situation to be asked on a bill, that is one thing that everybody should never be afraid to talk about, because it's the truth. Is it a door deal? That's all you have to say. Is it a door deal? Are we breaking it straight down the thing? Because again, it does come into experience and history. So you've got guys like, let's say, Reaping Asmodea. They're here, right? But they booked the show all the way down, right? And they've been around for a long time. Should they get paid all of the money? Should they have but they're using bands to draw for the whole bill, though, right? So why should it be a scale?
Sure.
To me, it's like you're all busting ass on this whole thing. Yeah, if you've been into it a little bit longer, maybe you get a little bit more.
Sure.
But I think the breakdown should be pretty even across the board. I'm not saying that you've obviously put your time in,
right?
But never, ever, and I stress this more than anything, never, ever fucking walk out of your studio without a guarantee of something.
Sure.
$100 is not a lot to ask,
I mean,
period.
Gas isn't cheap.
Nope.
Gear isn't
Dude,
cheap.
$416?
None of it's free.
$416?
416. Ooh.
Well, then if you split it four ways, I mean,
and dude, you guys know as well as I do, especially if you have a kid and you're working somewhere else and you're like, hey, I got to drive today. I got my shit from last practice. Like, it's not like you're going, hey, we're meeting at the studio space and we're all riding together. It hardly ever happens anymore.
Yeah, it's like, I don't have to be here.
Right?
Like, I do it because I want to.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. What was parking for that first show that we played?
$35 a park.
Something like that, because there was another event going on in St. Paul at the time.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah. I actually like the gear that I had. I gave it to Miles and went and parked somewhere else because I was like, I'm not. Nope.
$30.
I just mean to beat the shit out of that, but it's really important for bands to hear, because there are a lot of times, and I'll say this as a promoter from the past, doing it for my own band, but working at Lee's and the Skyway, and I mean, dude, all over the place. Anything that I booked for my band, I just wouldn't leave without some sort of guarantee. Like, we're gonna get something out of this. You have to do it. There's no way for us to do it free anymore. It's not about the love of the game anymore. You have to honestly love it and still be. I mean, young bands, you are worth something. You are worth something, and it takes a minute to get your foot in the door and find the right people. But then we go back to what we were alluding to in the first break, was networking. You have to be able to sit there and network. You get done with your shit. You pack your stuff in a corner. You don't put it in your cars. Young people, do not put it in your fucking cars and go, hey, I'm just gonna go back in there, because let me tell you, there are people around the venues that are always watching for shit like this, because they know musicians are lazy assholes and are like, oh, I'm just gonna cover it with a shirt. Yeah, you gotta sticking out and stand that way. Put it in a corner. Designate who's going to the merch booth. sit down and somebody go talk to the other bands, make sure we're spreading the love all around, you know, go smoke a joint with whoever or have a drink with someone, you know, talk it up. My goal in the whole thing was to find one band that I could switch a show with. If they were out of town, it was even better. But it was like, hey, man, I'll take care of you when you come up here. You take care of me when I go down there. And it would always work because everybody wants to swap. And back in the day, you had a little bit more play in different venues to play with. But yeah, man, I can't stress that enough. And I think that bands, you know, don't undersell yourself. Obviously, you can't come out and say, hey, I have a guarantee, you know, the first 6 months you're ever playing a damn show. I'm saying, like, as you progress and as you move up the ranks, and basically that's moving to second, third slot in the thing, you're gaining more followers, you're bringing more people to the venue, you're not asking someone to give you a 32-person guest list, you're not fucking every band around you, you're not taking extra time on stage, you know, loading on and off. It's important to keep your people moving, you know. Don't take your cymbals off on stage. You know what I mean?
Take it off,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's so, yeah, exactly. Here, hand it to the singer. You're supposed to do this shit.
I make sure to help with load-in just so I don't fall into that stereotype.
Yeah. And so I have a couple buddies that will just take pictures of their, you know, their singers. Look, he does it. You know, what I mean?
He just has to carry a microphone.
Yeah, so you can help carry all the rest of our shit.
If we have an in-ear rig, then he has to carry most of that.
I was going to say, you gave me the in-ear rig
you do get responsibility.
I get responsibility.
Just so you can hear yourself.
No wheels for you.
So you guys do use in-ears?
Yes.
That was the question I was going to ask as well, because now as a vocalist, do you like it, or do you have a issue with ambient sound?
Ironically, like, I pretty much have always used in-ears.
Okay.
In Red Fletcher, I mean, we didn't have click tracks or anything, but I had in-ears for that. A lot of the stuff that I did for churches, like that was all in-ears too. So I'm very familiar with in-ears, and I like them. Yeah.
Nice. How about you guys when it comes to in-ears?
This is the first band I've played with that uses in-ears.
What do you think about it?
They're good when you know how to use them at all. I don't know how they work. I leave it up to these two to figure out how to do it. But the difference was the previous band I played did not have backing tracks. I think they're essential when you have backing tracks for this band.
Yeah.
The click track is just a benefit.
Big time. Big time.
He doesn't have a lot of faith. He always thinks it's going to fail.
Well, I always
the irony is that it did fail our first show.
Well,
nobody knows that.
They know now.
I was at a show with Andrew where one of the band's in-ears went out before they were supposed to go on stage, and they had to cancel the show.
Wow.
And I would hate for that to happen. So I like to say, like, we shouldn't cancel the show.
Right.
Like, I'll just keep beats on, or keep the tempo on the hi-hat in between like gaps if we need to, and just like have a backup plan just in case, because they're like good to have, but like I still don't trust them fully.
Dude, the early years of triggers, man. We played a show with a guy who had his whole kit was trigger, and like the soft toms and all that shit, dude. And he got on stage and his bass player started doing his shit, and it set his triggers off. So every time he would hit something, it'd go boom, like this. It was like, holy shit. So our drummer actually let him use his kit, and the dude was horrible, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, and his feet were so off, dude. It was like
soft and
tippy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Electronics versus acoustics, like, it is insane of a difference as far as kits are concerned. I mean, I don't know how much experience you have with electronic kits, but
just like for fun, never like professionally. I have way more of the acoustic.
I've done where I practice on an electric kit and then actually play on an acoustic kit, and I'm like, this is slightly different.
Yeah, I can imagine, dude. I can imagine.
Add the early triggers into it and try and do what these guys were doing, like Greg was saying. And no. We've seen that before.
Yeah, that's a scary thing, dude. You see it, you're like, what can you do with that, man? Like, it's a MIDI collapse, dude. I've seen Kempers fail, like one of those fucking Helix. Remember those?
Don't
Helix?
say that.
No.
I just got a Kemper.
But here's the thing, though. The dude did not know what he was doing, and he bonked the front of it, and it fucked his module up. He had to send it in to get it fixed. But that was the thing. He dropped it on that. It wasn't. He stumbled to hit a chord, and it fucking goosh. That was it, and it just started fucking up on him. Like guitar players, you're like, plug it back in, you get it to work, and you're and then you go to the next show, and you're like, You know.
Can confirm.
Yep.
Can confirm. I remember when I was in Lumberjack and I had a guitar that I got to sent out to get set up. I wrote drop C on the slip. I get onto stage. We start playing our first song. It's in C standard.
Oh no.
So yeah, none of those, not where I thought it was going to be. Hit that first open chord and it's in the wrong tuning. And I'm just like, ah! Shout out Justin Sapp for being there to save me when I was a 16, 17-year-old kid on the stage in the Vault back in Buffalo. If anybody remembers that,
awesome.
chat. Oh my God, the early days.
That was a Bobby venue back then.
Oh yeah, it was.
Dude, we got people in the chat being cool to each other. I absolutely love looking over and seeing that. My buddy Lewis is saying, "Good to meet you, Eric, and glad your kid's okay, dude." Lewis, you're a good motherfucker, man. Thanks for doing that. That's super cool, man.
Shout out Lewis.
I love it when people are, they're chatting in the chat. It's even cooler, man. They're like amongst each other having like a full conversation and shit. I love it.
Love it.
It's fucking great, man. Thank you for doing that. Thank you. It adds more to the aesthetic of the show. I really appreciate it. I don't have enough people to come in and chat and talk shit with each other. I absolutely love it. It's good shit. I do want to push that again. The show you guys got coming up. I got the one on the 15th here. I got the one on the 30th, which is next weekend. Make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be a good one. Again, the MK2 Ultra Records local showcase at Underground Music Cafe. I am really fucking stuttery today. I don't know why. 18 plus, 6:30 p.m. doors, 7 p.m. show. Pre-sale tickets $10 in advance and $15 at the door. Fragged Out, Shot Down, Tarentia, and Bestowed Upon Us. That is the 30th. Next week, motherfuckers, make sure you go. And then August 15th, it's Shot Down, Sensing Agony, Wakefield, Bestowed Upon Us, and Sledge at Memory Lanes. $5 cover, cheap one. Cool spot to see a show, though. It is such a trip to see bands throw down right on the fucking bowling lanes. So if you haven't seen a show there, it's a good place to see a a show. Just be careful.
Please don't hit us with bowling balls.
Yeah. No.
Now you put it out there.
bowling
It's got to happen.
Bowling shoes, fine. Bowling balls, no.
Are we required to wear bowling shoes on the stage? Do you know?
Yeah,
Bowling shoes and ties.
Oh,
I
man.
drum better.
I might slip and fall.
What if somebody
It could
just walks
happen.
up and does this shit over the top of your shoes? That's it.
my gosh. Oh no.
Just some lithium grease on the stage. We're all Michael Jackson now.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hey, Lewis, by the way, all of those shows are on my front page, too. You can just scroll down. You can see it. It'll be just go straight down to the end of this month. It's right on the top pretty much. You'll see the link for their show if you want to go check it out.
Can I just say thank you for sharing those? I see those like every time I'm scrolling on Facebook. I'm like, hey, that's our event. Hey, Greg shared it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I here's the thing is like people will get frustrated with me because they'll have multiple shows, and sometimes I'm an old stoner, so I will scroll past. But most of the time, if I know the band or I've worked with them before, I'll always share it.
Sure.
Sometimes there's bands out there right now that are like they're coming up, and I've never heard. There's a couple shows where I'm like, who are these bands? They got cool logos, so they got to be kind of heavy. You know what I mean? But I do share as much as I possibly can. I try to do it at least once a day. I was doing it twice a day. Between the two pages, I'd go do my normal page, and then I'd go to the podcast page. I slack a lot on the podcast page because Facebook likes to force you to pay for promotions. You know? So it's the personal page. I've got 7,000 people follow me on that personal page. So it's got to hit somebody's threads every once in a while. So I just do it. You know, they bog me down and they don't really give me much love on that whole thing because I know there's a lot of people are like, where do I see shows? And I'm like, dude, if you go to my front page from July all the way, I think my latest show is I'm in December already. Wow. So it's like I've got shows all the way on my page all the way to December, and I share every local show that I share tours that aren't even coming to Minneapolis because I want people to go, hey, I can go see them in Chicago. I can go see them in Milwaukee. Madison, I've got buddies that promote in Madison. Yeah. And I'm always Sioux Falls is another one I picked up. Sure. Now, if you guys haven't played Biggs or haven't looked into Biggs Bar, get a hold of Les Watkins at Biggs Bar. That is a very, very cool venue to check out. and they are swapping shows between Minnesota bands and Sioux Falls bands.
Nice.
I did.
Okay.
That is on one of my lists.
Yeah.
On your venue list?
My out of town venue
okay.
list.
Yep.
I've got that one
A
on there.
really
Our
good
secret
spot, and then obviously the aquarium in North Dakota.
Yep, that's on my
that's a good
list.
spot. I think there's one other one on my list. July 31st, I think. There's a show in North Dakota in a place that I don't remember. I'm not familiar with that venue, but
I think it was like in Fargo area.
Yeah.
I think it was like a little coffee shop or
Yeah.
like a little
Yeah. But yeah, that's dude, that's huge. I try to share as much as possible, man, and it's really here's the thing, man. I this podcast and anything that I do promotions wise, it is all from the love of the game. It's all from the people before you guys, before me. Earl Root, Sean Decker, Jim Odegaard, a lot of the old guard that are passed away now. You know, the Root of All Evil, you got the Roar of the Underground, you got multiple things on the KFAI side of things. But they all supported us when we were coming up. When we were 16, 17, 18, we could go down to that radio station at 1 a.m. and play our demo tape, literally a cassette tape. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So this is one of those things where when this was built, I didn't do it on a Saturday out of respect for Earl Root's show. I did it out of respect for every single person that gave me love in this music scene. And it wasn't, I didn't ask for it. I mean, of course, you're obviously asking for it, but I didn't beg anybody to do it. They gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? I was very fortunate to meet cool guys in the same scenarios at how you guys met. Friends of friends, people that you meet through the scene, and you create these great bonds and you create great music and you just go on to do this cool shit. So all this is just paying it forward from all those people that did it for me. And I'm fucking 53, dude. Like, I want the young kids to have a spot to come and go, hey, I want to be on that old fucker show and talk about music, you know?
Hell yeah.
Because, hey, man, maybe, like, again, I only have 688 followers. I don't have a gigantic following, right? But here's the thing. It's a passion. It's a labor of love. I enjoy the music. I enjoy being a local dude. I enjoy the struggles. I enjoy hearing the great stories that everybody has to tell when it comes to this shit. I live through this shit. This is my vein to be in this music scene again. I'm not playing locally anymore. I haven't in 6 years, but here's the thing. I feel it when I got you guys in this room. You know what I mean? I know that when I go to a show and I see you guys play, I'm going to have friendly faces and people to shake and give hugs to. That's what's important to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's the huge thing.
Sure.
Thanks are all fantastic. I love it. I really do. It's hard for me to take compliments. I'm like, you know.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah. You just say thanks, and I'm very grateful. I'm very lucky as fuck, man. I'm super lucky, and just pay it forward. That's it.
Sure.
Well, we're lucky to have you, Greg.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, man. Let me see here. How did you get your first gig, and where was it at? It could be not with this band, or with this band. But where was your first gig? How did you get it? Like, how did you manage?
Who wants to take that one?
My first gig was actually with Red Fletcher, and was at the Garage.
Ooh, shout out the Garage and another RIP.
Yeah,
We're
dude.
doing a lot of in memoriams.
We're just dating ourselves. That's it. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, you'd have to ask Austin, their drummer, how we got that show. But yeah, I was in the band and I got on that.
Yeah.
That was my first show with Red Fletcher. So
That was a fun one. I remember kind of helping put together the first show that I ever played down in the Enigma, and I was in high school, so it was a nightmare. Trying to work with the venue, being a 15-year-old who had my head firmly all the way up my ass at the time, and just trying to wrangle cats. You know, we were all 15 at the time, and it was just kind of a mess. And all the bands on the bill, besides one, were 15 and younger. And that one band, I'm blanking on the name of them. They were at the time some folks that we knew locally from going to shows with like the Silent Surrender and stuff, but they were kind of taking the lead on that a little bit. But they also kind of gave us this opportunity to be like, you guys talk to them via phone calls and like very early email at the time. It was 2005, I want to say at the time, something like that. So it was a very cool experience, though, kind of getting to have them there where they were like, oh, well, that wasn't the right way to respond. That wasn't really what they were asking, but here is what we are asking of you and what we need for you. So, like, stage plot, what kind of gear are you bringing? That's really what they're asking.
What do you mean by that? I remember going, what? What the fuck is a stage plot? You know the layout of what the stage. Okay, is that left or is that right?
I don't know which one's which
exactly,
one.
dude.
Yeah,
you know?
it was a trip.
Because I called my dudes when they asked, like, what the fuck is a stage plot? And what are
What
you
is
left or
this?
right? Well, technically, I'm on the right side. If you're looking at us, I'd be on the left. And I'm like, I'm
So
still
is that
confused.
stage left or stage right?
Exactly.
Which one?
I don't know
know
what you're talking about, dude. You're just over here.
Yeah, left, right. Just put up your thumb and forefinger. You'll figure it out. It's okay.
You'll figure it out eventually.
Your other left.
Yeah. Or then we got Tony over here with the easy job. You're in the center. On something or not on something. Riser or no riser. No, it was fun though. It was learning those little details as a 15-year-old, kind of not knowing what I was going into.
Isn't it
so.
daunting? It's so
It
so
was.
crazy. It's so
It really
like
was.
you just have no fucking clue what to do, and it's such a scary thing. That's again another. I hope if any young folks are watching this show, man, I think there's so many stories throughout the years of doing this podcast that people are like, man, breaking that barrier is the hardest fucking thing because you just don't know. You call up the venue and go, hey, I want to put a show there. And they're like, oh, yeah? Well, what kind of show you got? And it's like, you know that they could feel how green you are. They're like, oh, we can totally get these guys there. Bring your friends in.
And they'll do it for free.
Yeah.
Well, and we had the nice thing of it being a youth center. The Enigma was fantastic to work with. You know, they were just straightforward with the whole process. And, you know, I got really lucky personally. I broke a string my first show. I had to deal with all that setup my first show. And we decided to do an encore that I did not know as the guitar player. I told them, I turned them, I'm like, I don't know this song. And they're like, just go, just fine. It was Sugar We're Going Down, and I literally just played the chorus over and over and over.
Well, yeah,
it was
pretty much
kind of
how
close.
you play that song.
I mean, if you know the song, it is
pretty
not
much how you play the
entirely
song.
wrong,
Right,
but
right.
like it was great. And one of the guys from that older band jumped on stage with us for that one, doing vocals. It was a really, really interesting experience. But like I said, I got really lucky. Kind of get some of that easy stuff out of the way, like break your first string, have this fall apart. I know that you guys saw me panicking at our first show as my amp was not working.
I was so disappointed when your
Flop
amp
sweat.
started going out, and we're just like, oh,
Instant
he's not
flop
going to have a
sweat.
good show. He's not going to have a
It
good
was
show.
it was fine
Well,
though.
No, it was okay.
We got through
it was
it.
okay. We got
The
through
sound check wasn't going right. The amp went out.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our in-ears were kind of funky.
Yo, I didn't have in-ears for most of that first show that we played. Shout out Your Last Breath and everybody else that was on that bill. You guys
Yes.
are great. And shout out Your Last Breath for getting us on that show. Dustin again, and Dakota, and Bryce. Shout out everybody. I'm just gonna shout everybody out.
Yeah, no, that was crazy because I think all three of these guys were like, well, damn, that escalated quickly. Like we got a show within, when was it, like we had only been a band for
less than 6 months.
I think we had only had like 2 practices, maybe.
3 months maybe total.
Yeah, it was
and
not.
then-
We had not been a band for all that long, but you knew Dakota.
Yep.
And then the Your Last Breath guys were kind of familiar with me because I filled in on vocals for Alkali Lake during one of their sets. It was Flatline Fest, August 2025. So they were somewhat familiar with me. Obviously, Dakota knew Miles, and so that's how we got on that show.
They were like, yeah, these guys are looking to play a show. And they're like, all right, let's give them a shot.
Wee! And we did it!
God, it's so much different than when I was younger, dude. You know what I mean? It's just like
It's very YOLO nowadays.
you just rubbing elbows with the right folks, man. It's so important, dude. You know, just hey, dude, I really like your stuff. That's all it takes, man. Really, that's the network. Like,
Absolutely, it is.
supporting other bands. That's all you have to do.
It's not
man.
what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, for sure.
We may
that is
have-
not a fucking lie, dude. Because
Absolutely.
back in the day, man, I say this, 2000, 99, 2000, the radio stations gave a shit. 93X gave a shit about the local scene. They were. It was before they started doing, playlists digitally. It was like you could still, the DJ still had some sort of, call, and like they could pull into it. Like, I really want to hear this too, throw it in there. Or you got guys like Nick Davis that did the metal shop that played all the shit that they never played on normal, and then of course Earl Root and all those guys playing that heavy shit, so it's always fantastic to hear. Greg, tell the guys the Bad Guy tune hit right after the last few days. For sure, dude. Absolutely, man. Again, this is how you is how you make fans, man. Is
Love it.
the explanation, the story. After last week's podcast, we talked about this. I talked to the guys afterwards, and he just said, the vocalist was like, dude, it was great to talk to you for longer than 10 minutes. and you know, this is the thing, is that when you're at a show, you're there, you're like, hey man, good set, or hey, good to see you. Thanks for playing the show. And then you're out, you know, you might have a beer. Hey man, you guys fucking great, buddy. You know, for 10 minutes, and that's all you get. And then you're out, you know, you're loading gear, you're moving shit. So it's always cool to do things like this, man. You know, sit down and get a whole story out and what you know what you guys are all about.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man.
This, where you can barely hear anything coming through, barely a little bit of an earplug as you're like, oh my god, and bang, 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 bang. Oh my god.
You pull it out, and all you hear is ringing.
All the low end just comes in.
I love it, dude.
And I'm deaf.
So here's a kind of a silly one to kind of end this deal on. Making music and creating music. Where is the strangest place that you've come up with an idea or created or finished a song?
And you can't say toilet.
No, toilet's out. That's not strange enough.
In the back of a girl's mom's Tahoe.
Oh boy.
And no, you are not getting any more contact.
Was her mom in the vehicle?
No.
Okay, there we go.
Yes, it was dark outside.
There we go.
Yes, we were near a river.
Were the windows fogged up?
I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. I
Just said he wasn't giving context.
He
He just said that.
It's like the Titanic.
maybe I gave a little context.
Malasite, Minnesota says, "What's up, guys?"
Hell yeah.
What up?
Malachite.
You got Eric Fontaine in the building too, and then Lewis, and then guys from Malachite.
Malachite.
There it is.
Yep. Donnie.
Donnie,
Shout
what's
out
up,
Donnie.
Oh yeah.
He just
Yeah.
just played his last show with Chick Singer, right? I believe.
Yeah, God, I'm blank on the name of
What
the
a
band.
fantastic guitar player. Dude's a talented
Absolutely.
guitar player.
God, he rips. I love the double
Sweetheart.
neck guitars
He's
too.
a sweetheart of a dude too.
He is.
To answer your question, the most unique one that comes to mind is I came up with a drum groove playing on my girlfriend's back while she was playing Dead by Daylight on PS5.
Oh shit!
She was just
Are
playing
we
games.
talking back or ass
No,
cheek?
I
just
was
back,
gonna
just
say.
back, just back.
Okay.
No back. But she was playing video games, and I heard this song that was presented to me that had a bare bones drum part. I wanted to expand upon it, so I'm just thinking about it and playing on her back, like just half watching her play, and she's just like deep into the game, just like not even like focusing on what's going on.
Does
and
she know that part? Like in
Yeah,
tune?
yeah.
That's
I've been
fucking
like this.
awesome.
I'm like, this is the part that I wrote on your back.
She should
Very
get.
straightforward.
She should get that tattooed
Yeah.
on her back.
yeah,
Just
like
a couple
yeah,
hands.
yeah. It's a cool part.
Like,
No,
yeah.
you need
like
to get
angel
you need to get
wings.
like the tab.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the guitar
the
pro
percussion
version.
sheet
Yeah.
music.
Yeah,
for-
there
or
you go.
in hand.
It's
prints.
Bookmarked by two hands.
It's called,
Yeah, there you go.
It's
Perfect.
called
I love
drum
it.
drum
Yeah.
notation.
It's a
Yes,
it's a cool groove between the bell, the ride, and the hi hat and the snare.
Nice.
Or you go like the rock band route and you just
Yeah,
have, like,
the lines.
yeah. across your back.
With the red dot.
Yes,
hilarious.
yes.
That's
And for the kick drum, you got like just a bar across the thing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, dude. That is fantastic. Well, thank you guys for doing this, man. I appreciate
you.
it. Now, where can people hear your stuff? Where can they get your stuff?
It's on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. We don't have a TikTok. That TikTok is the only TikTok we have is currently mine. I'm in the process of getting things all switched over to do that. Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody sees these fucking flyers one more time before. Anybody
you.
else have anything else you want to shout out or anything? Go ahead.
Well, you can also find us at shotdownband.com if you want
Yes.
to try and find
Oh,
us there.
the interwebs.
Shotdownband.com.
Yes. Oh, I will shout out just the fact that we are on point with our merch game. Like
Come and find it. We
All
got
these
some good
guys,
stuff.
all these guys coming up with ideas. We got wristbands, we got keychains, we got lighters, we got stickers. Like,
Oh, and they're the I Heart Boobies version bracelets.
Yeah,
they're not.
look at
They're
this
not
shit.
just
Look at
those
this shit.
little Live Strong bracelets. No.
no.
We're bringing
I
it
looked
back.
for the ultra wide
Nice,
when I
the
ordered
fatties,
those shit.
dude.
Ultra wide.
That'll give you a nice tan line too.
Oh yeah.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You should just put multiples on your arm so you have a stripped arm.
You know what? You know what's funny? The first person I gave one to, actually, she said, she's like, I used to have so many of these that I would have the weirdest zebra line tattoo, basically, on my arm during the summer because I'd have wristbands all the way up to my elbow.
That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's
Bring
cool.
it back, man.
That's Die Hard.
I think that's cool as shit, man.
That was,
I love it. Well, thank you guys for doing this, man. It's fantastic. From you to me, tell me about that one.
Yeah, so I wrote that one after a therapy session. It was one of those where, like, I had just had a lot of relationships that felt like they ended in abandonment. And my therapist asked me, like, if you were to have conversations with these people, what would you want them to say to you? And there's a line, I think it's in Repeating Apologies by Of Mice and Men. All of these words that I say are the things I want to hear from you to me. And so that's where I came up with the name. But yeah, just basically wanting people to not give up on you.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people can relate to that,
Mm-hmm.
especially nowadays, man. You know, people give up on people just over stupid shit.
It's really quick nowadays. Very, very quick trigger
Yeah.
pulls.
Like
Got to
it-
invest in your friends, man.
Well,
We're
you
not
know,
perfect people. A lot of
Well,
us have flaws and
I
bumps
think-
and
I think-
bruises.
I think people have lost sight of you can be into different things and still get along with people. It doesn't have to be, you know, black or white, dry, cut and dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's unfortunate, man, is that there's so much bad shit going on in the world. It doesn't matter where your stance is. It's just you're taking the less shitty path. I think these days is what it seems like, and I think it's unfortunate. It's
I
really
want to
unfortunate.
quick shout out Tony again because he is our camaraderie guy. Like every practice, it's always, guys, can we go out to eat? Like,
Can we do
we,
band
That's
after
important,
we just want to
man.
hang out, man.
That's super important.
Wait, are we going after this? No, just kidding.
I didn't have plans to, but
Perkins,
First round's
baby.
on me.
Perkins, yeah.
Perkins,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. Beers on there.
I wish you could smoke cigarettes in Perkins still.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're that old, huh?
Oh yeah.
Smoking cigarettes and Perkins at 2:30 in the
used to-
morning, eating a chicken
I used to
tender
do that.
sandwich
Dude.
basket.
Coffees, dude. Coffees and fucking cigs at
yes.
Perkins.
That was pre-smoking sections,
Good
or
God.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably smoking section. You
Yeah.
know, they didn't outlaw it completely.
Could I
until-
eat away from the smoke a little bit?
Yeah.
It's in the building,
I can
man. I
still
don't know
breathe
what
it
you're
in.
complaining about now. I mean, what do you?
Here
what,
comes
why?
a smoke ring.
Three people walk by smoking cigarettes. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
you got a fucking a half window. You know, smoke ring going over top.
At Sandy's, they have that air unit
Yeah.
that recirculates
Yep.
the cigarette air that's still mounted up on the
Oh
side.
yeah,
hot box,
yeah.
yeah.
It's yellow.
They used to make those crazy noises. They make those crazy noises. I was a
love
bar
it.
kid, man, when I was young. So I was in those bars, smoky ass bars, when I was like 6 and 7, dude. It's so stupid, man.
secondhand smoke.
Yep.
Back when it was air quotes and not
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah. You mean the Canadian Fires, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's what I was intended.
I just walk outside and go. Smoke rings, blowing smoke rings, dude.
Basically.
All right.
God,
insane.
that first day last week was,
It was
Dude.
just, oh my god.
I walked
I got
out. And
dizzy.
I mean, and I'm a smoker or have been, kind of dabble in what I just like. I walked out and it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Dude, I drove to work and we have this field by my work and I took a shot of the moon and you couldn't see it through the fog. Like I still have that photo. I went, what? I'm zooming in and it didn't fucking take the picture of the moon. It was red, dude. It was like, what
That's
the fuck is
You
this?
know it's bad when it's sunrise and you can look directly at the sun because the smoke's so bad. That's terrible.
Yeah. I was at Rockfest last weekend at Eau Claire, and it was a very, very smoky day.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. And hotter than shit, too.
Yeah, even the performers were like, man, it's hot. And they're like, thanks for braving the heat and the smoke to see us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing right there, man. I'll tell you what, it is not fun, man. Well, thank you guys again. I will keep saying thanks till we push it right the hell out the door.
Minnesota way.
Thank you.
Make sure, folks, make sure to like and subscribe as much as you can. Tell your friends about the show. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks to everybody in the chat for supporting and loving each other. Even I love it so much, man. So go to support these guys again. You've seen the flyers. The 30th and the 15th of August. Go check them out. 30th of July, 15th of August. There you go. Check them out and support these homeboys, man. That's how we do it around here. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Next Friday, I got some more surprises for you. So have a good one. Peace out.
Later, everyone.
Peace.
Don't you give Showman is podcast.